and it throughout his back.
That happened a while ago.
I don't know if you guys caught that.
What would you do?
You said your hip pops. I was like, my hip hops.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me
No, this man's actually like he just sneezed the wrong way. And,
oh wait, are we live?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
It's funny. The only reason I know we're live is because I have the window open in another window. Wait, I have the
Manuel
open another window.
Oh, go ahead.
So there's one time. Huh?
No, go ahead. I want to hear this. I know a story.
That story. So I was in a car and I was taking my sister either to either a friend's house or something. I think we were going to Walmart for some shit. And I was driving and I hear ding, and she's like, "Oh," and it was Manuel, right? And she was like, and I said, "Send me nudes." And then my sister Tori's just like, "Oh, someone? No, it was my aunt. It was my aunt. She was looking at my phone. Not so. I think the driving one, my sister did not catch that one because Manuel said some bullshit there. But my aunt looked. She's like, "Someone's asking you for nudes." She's like, "Oh, I don't want to see." I was like, "No, that's my friend. He's being dumb." She's like, "Well, I don't want to know." I was like, "Oh my god, Manuel."
No, that's my friend. It's like, well, I guess y'all are really friendly with each other.
So, like, we're that special, like, Greek kind of friendly.
Like hey, I sat there and I was like, "He sent me an eggplant."
Wait, by the way, that wasn't like really racist.
Uh-huh.
I meant classically Greek. You know, the whole meme where it's all like,
what they were really are you talking about?
They were really good friends, and like they're like naked holding each other.
Wait, what?
Well, like the Bible thing where it's like they knew each other.
Okay, now it's funny because I already did a DTL on this, so I can't really. I should have did a real one on the book when I was reading Tale of Genji. I remember I was so confused by it because I didn't realize they were having sex until like he was exiled for having sex, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" And I had to like, go back like a bunch of pages, and I'm like, "Oh, he caught like that dude caught them fucking," and like the way that it was written was very flowery, but I'm like, it just sounded like they were playing chess in their bedroom, and like he walked in, it's like, "You're being banished."
Why are you using your brain? He's like, "Oh,
She's
I'm using my other head."
I think she was giving him the brain.
The sloppy toppies.
Throat goat.
That's exactly. But like, if that happened, like, yeah, I'd want to be exiled. Then I just go to the place where everybody else is fucking.
Yeah, and actually, I think that was basically what he did. Like, that's the whole point of that story. He every time he goes somewhere, he comes back with like a new woman, basically.
So they knew. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like he left his
Big
wife
mystery.
back in the he left his wife back in the capital. Like she was like crying in his decrepit house, but then he goes off to the country and like finds a new wife and like a mistress and comes back with them when he gets unexiled.
I mean, what she look like?
One of them was his adopted daughter. That was actually the part I focused on. That he ended up finding an adopted daughter and then like basically groomed her to be the perfect wife.
Okay, Woody Allen.
You tell me there are 2021 pornography already.
I know. It's like, what are you doing, stepdad?
He's starting a trend.
I mean, wait, did that predate, or was the octopus thing after this? The octopus painting.
Oh, this predates that by far.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, this book was like in like the 1000s. I don't know what you call that, the 11th century. But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a good
Manuel, how do you not know, Manuel? You lived during that time.
Oh, fuck.
Manuel knew the guy.
Damn.
We talked about like the like
jokes. We love you.
You guys got the jokes.
Of course, you gotta respect your elders.
I know,
like, you know.
I'm a joke. Rip. There you go.
Warren is a joke. Stop being. I went to.
So serious. I forgot the Joker. That's my spirit animal, bro. So edgy.
I'm the Joker, baby.
You know, I just want to have a relationship like Harley Quinn and Joker. You know, it's toxic, but everyone says it's great. It's kind of weird.
I mean, in the moment. See, that's the thing about toxic relationships. In the moment, it'd be like, "Oh, it's great," and then you actually like have a toxic relationship for longer than just a moment, and you're like, "Oh, this is awful," for like 99% of the time.
There's
that post-nut clarity.
There was this book. There was this book I read. I still love this book. I should dig it up. I actually know where it is and show you, do a presentation. Like the book's so so terrible. It's called John Adams Samurai, and it's it's one of those pulpy novels.
Adam, like
Samurai.
His name is John Adams, but he's not John Adams. He's not the president.
But I was gonna say, like, is this like the fucking Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter shit?
Yo, I'd watch it. I'd watch that over Vampire Slayer.
But it's this dude who gets crash land, and it's actually mildly serious, even though it's very pulpy. It was very like in the 50s. It's very pulp. It's one of those pulpy novels.
I love those.
But it's still very serious the way it takes itself. But like this dude, he's like American, I think. Crash lands, and like ends up like because one of the samurai lords is like, hey, it's a white guy. How novel. I'll put you in my retinue. And TLDR, the main plot is in his like retinue, his like service, but the main plot is about how he has to rescue his lord because his lord's going to be killed by like some other daimyo. But there's this part, of course, he has to fall in love with like one of the local women or whatever. but I'll never forget this scene, and I was really young when I read this book, and they have sex, and as soon as the sex is done, the book describes post-nut clarity. It's like, yeah, I laid there, and she tried to hug me, and I was like, oh. And like, so he like moves away. He's like, what was the big deal about this?
Well, yeah, because you got it. Like, that's the whole thing. It was never about having it. It's like, you got it. All right, cool. Yeah, I did it. I did the thing.
By the way, before you cancel at any of us, all men are monsters. Yeah, don't have sex with anyone.
We're talking about everybody's a monster.
You're not wrong.
I don't know where my shot glass is. What the fuck? I mean, not that we need to take shots in a second, but I thought I brought it next to me.
Also, man, what you're describing, that's an isekai.
An isekai?
That's literally an isekai.
I forgot. Oh, I don't know if you ever played the new Pokemon game.
I haven't yet.
But there's this this is a mild spoiler, but it happens pretty early. It's not that big of a plot point. One of the characters comes from another game, and the main character definitely gets isekai'd, but the other guy comes from another game, and there's just running fan because he's like, I think in the other game he's in, he like lives on a thing called the battle train. And there's this running theory because they actually like had some dialogue in the mobile game, which has him in it too, that the train crashed, he died, and when he woke up, he's like in this in this fantasy place, not fantasy place, but in the past with everyone else. And I'm like, dude got isekai, like literally.
I mean, that's original kind of, because usually it's a bus.
I know he got like his train crash.
Does that mean Jumanji's an isekai?
Yes.
Jumanji. Everything's an isekai.
The Lion, the Wizard, and the Wardrobe. That's an isekai.
Oh, that's an isekai. Yeah, that's isekai for normie people.
I'd argue that Harry Potter's an isekai too, honestly.
By the way, it's a witch, not a wizard, but okay.
Whatever.
I had to
the one with the Jesus lion.
Yeah, Jesus lion. That's the best one.
The allegory of Jesus.
No,
who voiced him?
Oh, it was Liam Neeson.
Oh, there you go, it was Liam Neeson. Oh, he got canceled a little bit too.
Yeah, he got canceled. That's what I was about to say. He got canceled because that was a weird thing to say. Yeah, when he got canceled. He also was Ra's al Ghul. Am I saying that right? He's the Ra's al Ghul.
I don't know, man. It's hella hard.
He's the immortal guy.
Yeah, Raish, the leader of the Legion of Shadows, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, and in that first Batman movie, which
oh yeah,
I never liked that one though. That was a weird.
I actually never watched that one.
It's okay. He was just being a ninja. You know, he was being a weeb, a super weeb.
It's good, honestly, but it's just like, I mean, I obviously watched Dark Knight, and then I watched the one Bane because, of course.
I didn't like the Bane one. By the way, it always bothered me. Spoiler if you've never seen them, by the way, that Scarecrow's in all of them. And
yes.
So since Batman, I actually didn't realize in part 2, the Dark Knight, that's a real Scarecrow. I thought he was like a cosplayer because there's this part where there's like a Batman cosplayer basically. But no, that's the real Scarecrow. That's the real Scarecrow. Like it's supposed to be the real Scarecrow. Anyway, I'm like, this is what's wrong with Batman. He should kill people because in the Bane movie, Scarecrow, because like. Spoiler alert, Gotham goes crazy and now like the villains are running the town. Scarecrow has this bullshit court where he's like trying people for nonsense just to kill random people. So Scarecrow is murdering people like by the dozens. And I'm like, Batman, if you had killed him in the first movie, we wouldn't be having these problems. So it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, your morals killed tons of innocent people. And who knows?
But the thing is also, like, if you did that for everything, then you would just be fucking culling, like, the masses. Yeah. And the issue is, it's like, that applies to, like, psychopaths. The problem is, it's like, usually criminals aren't like that, so then it's like, you apply that to, like, real world kind of, like, justice. It's just like, now this is weird. Now it's like, somebody does something wrong, just fucking off them. Also, he's rich as fuck. The entire town is like, fuck to hell and back. You know what? You know where crime comes out of? Fucking poverty.
Exactly.
That's true.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that sort of set up that, like, Robin. Well, it's the Robin name, but he ends up, like, inheriting Batman basically. Like,
kind of. Yeah, they never did anything.
Was his name? Was his, like, Officer Grayson? And it's all like,
yeah, I mean, they called him Robin or whatever the fuck at one point.
But he ends up, like, in the cave, and I'm like, imagine a Robin without a Batman. That'd just be really, really.
That's lame. Nightwing. You're literally talking about Nightwing, who is the most Chad figure in all of DC. Nobody has, like, his list is on Pete Davidson's level.
I was so upset.
He is slanging dick.
I was so pissed when I found out that Red Hood is Jason Todd. I was so fucking pissed. I never knew this.
I'm sorry. How long ago was this?
This was recent-ish, like maybe 2 years ago.
You realize that's been a thing for a long time, right?
It just pissed me off so much because I'm not that old to remember when it happened, but I did read the comics, like, through back issues that I, like, found at a comic store when I was younger. But I'm like, oh shit, they killed a Robin. I'm pretty sure by that point, if I was reading new comics, he was probably already alive. But one thing I hate about American comics, and I said this a million times, why I'll never take them seriously, why I don't think anyone really should take them seriously, is that they not only keep rebooting them, like, every other year, like, sometimes even more often. I'm not even making that up or pulling that out my ass, but there's no sense of finality. You cannot ever think that someone's really dead, period. And I am old enough to remember when they killed off Superman, and, like, that was a kind of fun thing. And then they had he had 4 comics, so each comic became, like, the 4 other Superman. Like, one was Superboy, one was Superman, but he was, like, the boy. One was that Cyborg. One was Steel. Remember Steel?
Yeah, Steel was just a black guy with the hammer.
Yeah, and
he
then
didn't have superpowers, but it's cool that they did bring him back, and he's actually, like, cool now. He actually, like, does shit.
Yeah, I remember the other one, the one that, because I think the Cyborg not to be evil, and the boy dies too.
Cyborg Superman is, like, fucking OP as shit. He still shows up sometimes.
Do you remember the 4th one though? Because the 4th one was this dude who looked like Superman with glasses. Like, he literally just was Superman with, like, cool shit.
Yeah, I forget what they gave him a name.
He was Kryptonian. He was like real Kryptonian, but he dies.
No, there was something else about him. But...
I think he was Kryptonian because I know he dies, and then they bring him back because, like,
everybody dies. Everybody does.
And the Superman shows up with his longer hair. By the way, this is massive spoilers to, like, a 30-year-old comic.
This is not a spoiler anymore. This is like spoiling the Titanic. Like, come on. Like,
I think they even put this in the movie by now. The Doomsday was in one of the Justice Leagues, wasn't he? Didn't he kill Superman there too? I don't know.
Yeah, Batman, Superman. That one, yeah.
I watched that in an airplane, but I fell asleep during most of it.
It sounds like you actually made the right choice there.
You probably did. Yeah, I woke up when, like, Wonder Woman showed up. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is she in this? And I fell back asleep. But yeah,
that sounds like everybody's reaction to this movie. Which sucks because, like,
Wonder Woman in this?
There's so much that you could do there. It's not even like there's not, like, a possibility there. It's just like, man, like, I don't think it's fit for live action. It's way better just animated.
Yeah, there was a cartoon of it. Yep. The Doomsday Story, I think, sometime.
There was multiple of those. There's been a lot of DC cartoons.
And there's even a video game based on the whole little arc for, like, the Super
Nintendo.
It on the
Nintendo 64?
Yeah, like, I know it might have been on that too, but it was around that time. It was really old. It was circa when the whole story was new. But I'll never forget I had the omnibus version. I didn't know that term as a kid, but I had the omnibus version of when Superman dies, and the cover is that very famous image where, like, Lois Lane's holding Superman. He's all like you know, he's all, like, dead, and the city's all destroyed. And if I'm not mistaken, Supergirl gets her shit fucked up too, huh?
You think Superman's heavier than like a human?
I know. I've thought about.
I just thought about it. Like he jacked as fuck, and that's like if it was a human that was jacked as fuck, that's still a lot of weight. And like, wait, would Kryptonian be heavier? Like denser? I don't know how that works.
I don't know if this is still canon, but if I'm not mistaken, I remember like the excuse they gave in the earlier comics, and like they still kept mentioning here and there when I was a kid reading some here and there, that his powers mainly only exist because the gravity's different.
What?
So like he can jump.
That's not
It's
why.
it's like the John Mars thing, but like John Carter of Mars. Where like I know for a fact that's what, because I don't know if you remember this, but Superman couldn't fly in the early comic books. He could only jump.
Nobody. That is not like the what. There's not the continuity that's like actually like used.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I don't know if obviously I think this no longer works because he can fly now. You should actually. There's actually a really funny. I think some YouTuber did a video about like when did Superman fly, and everyone legitimately thinks that because they changed artists so many times back then, that somebody misunderstood like one of his jumping pictures that he saw for reference as him flying.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's consistent though. Like, there's been so many times that's happened just because like there's so many people working on the stories, so they have to like kind of work on shit and then come back and like, oh fuck, we need to like fix that. We need somebody to write something in to kind of like either explain it or wreck on it.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's not canon anymore. But that apparently was the way they explained Superman's powers in the old days. That the gravity is different here versus Krypton. So it's like, oh shit, I'm strong, and I could jump.
I say that is so old. Like it's like I don't even know that I like. Yeah.
Is it the dragon? It's the Dragon Ball Z thing. They're like under 100 times gravity.
That's sun radiation, man.
Go talk about titties, but go look up my shot glass. Go look for my shot glass.
Drink it through the bottle.
Oh,
there we go. Nice.
You guys can introduce yourselves or something while I go look.
Well, aren't you supposed to be here?
I think you should. If we're doing introductions.
Yeah. Manuel's just like, you guys introduce yourselves, and he just walks off.
So, I'm honestly surprised that we're doing this week. I thought for half a second it wasn't going to come through.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, I already knew it was going to happen because I talked to Manuel Wednesday. I just didn't know if we were doing the traditional DTL kind of thing.
This is true.
Because remember, we were just like, Manuel's like, it's going to be wild or some shit. And I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, then I hope. I was like, are we going to do some weird shit?
But I mean, I suppose so. I mean, I have no idea what he has. I don't see. The thing is, I don't know what Manuel considers.
I didn't know what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what he meant. So I was just like, are we going to do some bullshit today? Are we going to chicken butt?
What was that?
That's my Bruce. That's a Bruce Lee's last. Ha You thought you got me. Ha Joke's on you.
I had to look up the token for my Twitch.
I've been watching that YouTuber a lot that you've been mentioning, Accented Cinema, and the only reason that reminded me because I think his recent video was on like.
Oh, he made one. Another one. Oh, I need to go look. I like.
He did a new video where it was about like. At what point is it like, are you not honoring, but are you doing like a good faith, like, borrowing from like martial arts movies? And at what point are you just like pandering?
So, I mean, if it serves the like story, pretty much. I mean, that's just like the difference between fan service and like actually like using parts of the,
Have you seen this is edit of Enter the Dragon when Bruce Lee's gonna fight where Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and they're taking off their shirts, but it's like they slowed it down a bit and they kept repeating parts and then they're playing Careless Whisper over it. It's like taking up. It's like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris gonna get it on.
There's a lot of action movies like on Love, pretty homoerotic.
Hey, that I was talking about something similar to this about the Guidos, because those are the guys that are like hella buff and like hella buff dark, right? And they always like trying to be super masculine, but I see all the photos with them, it's just a whole bunch of naked dudes with no shirts on, like with each other. And I was just like, you guys are trying to be as this is macho as fuck, trying to be hyper masculine, but the thing that your photos y'all taking together is super homoerotic.
The shit is like, yeah, it's like it's like the more of like what's being like shown seems like it's like it. You know who really gets something out of it is like probably gay guys because it's like yo right up the alley. It's just beefcake.
Right up the alley. You worded that nicely. By the way, I want to point out in case anyone misinterprets what we're saying here. Nothing wrong with it being homoerotic per se.
Yes, nothing wrong.
But a lot of times, fine. A lot of times within these scenes that are very homoerotic, not all the time. I don't want to say everyone's like this, but a lot of times it also comes with a dose of like toxic masculinity thrown in there. So it's the irony of it. It's the irony that like something is kind of hyper masculine, like trying to be toxic masculinity, but yet it's very homoerotic.
It's yeah. I mean, what's more masculine than two dudes like pounding each other?
Two dudes pounding.
Three dudes pounding each other. Right. And then they're like, we need to double up. We got to keep on doubling up.
I mean, yeah, you just toss more guys in. It's just more masculine. Yeah, just to be fair. Then everyone's just like that's how math works.
These guys are hella hard, literally and figuratively.
It's funny because if you play the new Pokemon game, it's really fucking annoying because, it doesn't matter the system. Actually, the game's great. The game's great. You don't have to know the system.
I know, but we're talking about like big old muscly dudes.
It has to do with math.
Pokemon. I want to see where the segue goes.
But if you have too many Pokemons, you put them in like
another trio DTO.
But in the new Pokemon game, you put them in what's called pastures because like there's a farm, there's no computers yet.
That sounds horrible.
But you want to know what number the farms max out at?
69?
Is it a hundo? Is it 69?
420?
No, it's not 69. He's close though. So okay, I'm actually gonna give you the lie first because I only found out that it maxes out better than this later on. It maxed out for me most of the game at 29, and I was so pissed. I'm like, who the fuck?
69?
Who does this? So, and then I accidentally unlocked more boxes. Do you want to know what number it really stops at?
What?
31.
Why?
It's like, what psychopath programmed this game?
Why
31?
Why only two more?
It pisses me off.
What do you have to go through to like unlock those 2 extra slots? Like
you have to like fill up most of your boxes. So like you think you're running out of space, and it's like, haha, lol. But 31 is really the cap. That's it.
That's really weird. Why?
Yeah, another trio DTL.
Right,
Shitaku. Molly said she could have been on, but she had no presentation. Maybe she'll pop in at some point.
Oh, that's been me like half the times we've done this.
Yeah, I'm like, just start making one up. Just be like, "Hi guys, I'm Molly, and I'm going to draw my life," and she'll just, I don't know.
I'll literally just like pop on like, "Hey, this is the thing that happened this week. I want to talk about it." I think I did that with the freaking Nickelodeon Smash game when it got announced.
Power of 2 minus 1.
Yeah, I was trying.
Is that what like 31 and 29 are? Oh, it's Leslo. Why is she green? Her thing is, well, you guys, it probably changes for whoever uses it, but her name is green. I don't know why it is.
Manuel's like this. Her thing is green. I was just like, are you talking about her penis?
Her penis.
You should see a doctor if it's green. That is not a good thing.
Leslie,
I thought this was gangrene. I thought it was part of the gangrene.
Wait, what if it's glow in the dark?
Then that's also go to.
Oh dang, that'd be kind of cool.
That's kind of cool though.
Most of it's irradiated.
Have you heard of that one comic?
Give everyone the
I forgot what that comic's called. It's a Marvel comic where like everything goes to shit. Like instead of Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk when he got exposed to radiation, it became like just like
it actually just killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man is like he's just fucked. Well, Peter Parker is just like a fucked up like freak or quote unquote freak. I don't want to use that word but yeah, because
he's literally a Spider-Man.
No, he's just like was growing bulbous.
Spider, half person chimera. Like that is the definition of freak.
And I
don't think you're offending the freaks out there.
Yes, he was a freak. And Professor X became like basically like mutant Hitler, where he's like, where he like was even though he's still a mutant himself, he was like rounding up all mutants and like killing them all or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
He was
so the opposite.
All the mutants?
Yeah, it's opposite land. I forgot what comic this was. If somebody knows what it is.
No, because opposite land would be if Peter Parker was a spider who got bit by a human.
That's not right.
And then he turned into.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty interesting.
Sucks.
You went from being hella cool to be hella sorry.
The spider. It's like, oh man, I have human characteristics now. Damn, I'm depressed.
I know exactly. The spider's like, oh, I got depression.
He can't hang on walls no more. He can't climb on walls no more.
He's got student loans.
He got student loans.
He got to raise a family of 6
on minimum wage. Just like, oh crap, life's hard now. Wish I was a spider.
It's impossible for him to type on a normal keyboard or even like get the touch screen on a smartphone to work properly.
Fucking hell. I remember when in the 90s, I don't know if this character still exists or if they ever were popular. I've never heard anyone ever mention them. They used to be I remember I used to like reading the Spider-Woman comic. Honestly, because the chick, which is kind of hot. And I remember I was reading Spider-Woman, and is there still a Spider-Woman? Anyway.
There's actually a couple. Because she had like changed different names and. I mean,
she had like long hair and like a Robin-ish mask because it was just she didn't have a full mask.
It was pretty much like Peter's outfit, but I think she turned out to be like a scroll or something.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I think that was a plot point I remember. But it's funny because there was this one issue of it where she fought the man spider, where it was just I don't know if that's a villain that really exists or if it was just one of her villains, but it's literally just like a spider that's a bit more anthropomorphic, but it's just a spider.
I mean, like the way I only remember like the man spider from the cartoon, the 90s cartoon.
True.
And it was just whatchamacallit. It was just Peter, but like something went screwy with like the mutant spider DNA stuff, and he was like having little moments of like where spider, you know?
Where spider. That's pretty funny. Spider Woman. Yeah, it could have been. I don't like I said, these are plots of comic books I literally read when I was in elementary school. Oh, I guess Spider-Woman is pretty popular. I googled it, and some of the first hits.
I would argue Spider-Gwen probably way more popular, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think I have seen this version of Spider-Woman, but the costume was it's a bit different now than I remembered it. That's why I never recognized for what it was. I honestly, because unless you notice there's a spider on her, it looks kind of just. I mean, she looks like Miss Marvel-ish, kind of. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The color scheme is like the exact same.
Because like the spider is so stylized. The spider is so stylized. I thought it was like a weird, just a design on her chest. I didn't know it was supposed to be a spider, so I looked closer. Of course, I would look closely at her chest too, though.
I'm pretty sure at this point that like Gwen's just completely usurped Spider.
Oh yeah,
like
right there, he actually looks like an actual spider. Like I was just like, okay, Spider-Woman. I could see that now.
But yeah, the very first hit for Spider-Woman, for me at least, when I typed it on Google, is a cosplayer. I just think that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see like whatever's the hits, and I'm sure like 50% chance of whoever that cosplayer is, there's also an OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm gonna click on. I wonder where this is from.
And I'm just doing that based off like whatever comes up first. That's the most traffic, and that is a great reason to pull in some traffic.
Apparently, if you go to the Wikipedia page, I don't know if like she did this, like the cosplayer, but if you go to the Wikipedia page for Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, which is the name of the page, they don't have a picture of Spider-Woman. They have a picture of the cosplayer. So I
that's how little people care about her. That nobody's fact checking the wiki.
Yeah, nobody went and checked it.
Sad, isn't it? Sad, Spider-Woman.
Question of the day: what is the best candy to buy for cheap after Valentine's Day?
None. Fuck that.
The Reese's Hearts for sure. Like no hands down. All like everything else doesn't count. The Reese's Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was still like eating like sugar, then yeah, that's what I would go for. But like, honestly, just thinking about it gives me a fucking migraine.
I remember like so I worked at Party City, obviously, like I said that a million times, but we had obviously we would have a lot of the conversation hearts, and there were a couple of years where we'd sell out of all of them. Like we'd sell through them all, like we didn't have any, because every so often somebody would literally buy a display, and like
a display.
Because they always came in a display, like they came like packaged from the company with this big box, this cardboard thing, and we put a display.
Okay,
and
that makes sense. All right.
So a customer would come in, it's like, I want all of them. And they're like, can I take the display too? I'm like, I guess, it saves me from having to like break it down and throw it away. So yeah, go ahead. And because each one came with it. and like so we didn't have to refill it. We would just get a whole new thing.
Yeah,
But every so often they would buy them all, so it just took a few customers doing that to break through them all. But anyways, the years we would have those left over, they were so cheap in clearance because like they cost like 33 cents. So when they were clearanced out, there'd be like 10 cents that we would mostly just throw them away. So I would just take them. They're kind of good. They're very flavorless and chalky, but they're pretty good. I like them. It's that kind of candy where you're eating it and it's almost it's just unpleasant enough of an experience where you're like, this can't be that bad for me, because you know what I mean.
No, it absolutely can be.
I'm pretty much eating sawdust. Eating sawdust and chalk powder. Anyway, let's get the show.
Fuck, yo, for real, fuck those the chalk candy. Fuck all of those. I don't know who came up with those. I don't know who's buying them. I need names. Those things are awful.
Candy?
The little sweethearts things that have like the little messages on them and stuff.
That's what I've been talking about this whole time.
I hate those, man.
Yeah, they're called conversation hearts, which is why I called them that. But yeah,
that's what they're called.
Yeah, they're called conversation hearts. And fun fact, you can technically go to the company, and I think there are trademarks, so they're technically only from one company. You can go to the company and get them printed to say anything. Or at least you were able to. You can have like ones to say like "marry me," and you could give those to like somebody you like, or hopefully somebody you're already dating.
If I gotta just be like dick. And then one says goose.
Dove chocolate. I like Dove chocolate. Dove chocolate is good.
That was good. It's like that's like chocolate.
Dove chocolate is pretty yummy.
I can't stand box chocolates like the heart boxes, because typically most of it I don't like. There's a lot of like nougaty things, and like I hate coconut and chocolate. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of shit.
I mean, I definitely understand the not liking the nougat thing. I don't. Yeah.
Like if there was more consistency, because sometimes you pick it up and like, oh, and you bite into it, like, oh,
nope,
not this one.
And most brands are getting good where usually if you open it, like usually under the lid, there'll be a little map of what's what. But I can't stand when they don't have that, and it's literally Russian roulette. It's like you either break it in half and ruin the chocolate, or you just risk it all.
Well, yeah, I mean, like here's the thing: if you're gonna if you don't like it, then yeah, I mean, like, what's the harm in throwing it away? If you like it, you're gonna finish it.
Well, maybe if you're with someone else, they'd be like, "Oh, why'd you throw away the nougat? I want the nougat." Like, you nasty nougatter.
I don't.
Sounded like a
sounded like a bleep there. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounded like I had to stop. I was like, "What the hell am I saying?" That sounds like I just.
You said nougatter.
Yes, I want to point out. I said nougat.
You're making it worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
You're repeating it. It sounds worse every time you say it.
Hold on, look at the timestamp. I'm gonna cut this little bit out. You're not gonna know.
It's at 33:77.
But yeah, that was just a weird thing to say. What was Manuel needs to think before he opens his mouth.
Well, now we know how you feel about Three Musketeers.
Yeah, you know what is nougat? Hold on, I'm gonna Google this.
It's there's a YouTube video. No. From what I understand, actually, I'll be honest.
Oh, it's made from nuts. It's made from like sugar and nuts. It's like
these nuts.
It's basically like kind of like another version of peanut butter. It sounds like, with no oil. Oh wait, never mind. There's also egg whites. Which is probably
okay. I was gonna say because like it needs something to be like fluffy, and they have to.
Yeah, it's egg whites
for that to happen. So.
And that's exactly what that is. It's egg whites. So yeah, the egg whites make it floofy, and the flavor is nuts and sugar.
Woo!
Wonder what kind of nuts. Nuts.
Probably peanut. It's I'm sure it's whatever is the cheapest one imaginable.
I know.
I don't think they're concerned about the quality.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to like making like any kind of cake that has like nuts in it, like usually like a Sakatumi cake or something like that. And but pecans, and I call them pecans, by the way, I like to annoy people. Pecans are so fucking expensive, comparatively speaking, for what you get. Like you get like this tiny little bag, and it's like $8. So I'd always get walnuts. And even though people were usually like, "Oh, Manuel's cheaping out," like when we're buying them, nobody could ever tell the difference. Once it's chopped up and like thrown into a cake. It's like, yeah, and it was half the price, motherfucker. Like, honestly, I ain't buying no pecans.
I mean, walnuts honestly like I like walnuts more.
Walnuts are softer, but honestly, they taste the same to me. Like, I
They
guess
are not the same.
I guess walnuts have a bit more of an earthy flavor.
Exactly.
whereas,
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
But and they're also softer. That's usually what gives it away to me more so than the taste. Is that if you bite into a walnut, it's almost squishy. It's not squishy, but it's a lot more givey. But a pecan is going to be like very crunchy, like an almond or something.
I guess so.
Pecan. Anyways, hey everyone, my name is Manuel, and I'm not going to bring back that joke again. Never mind. I was about to repeat it. And I'm like, wait, I'm already bleeping it out once. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio. I'm Hank Scorpio, and like, no, I'm just kidding. I was watching that Simpsons episode recently. I was watching a lot of drunk Simpsons recently, and there was one episode that I kept laughing at because
I love how he is like 2 seconds into an intro and then immediately got off topic.
No, because this is one Simpsons episode where like Lisa's trying to pretend to these college kids that she's like in college too. So they go back to her house and they think it, and just by chance Homer's like drunk, so like they believe that it's a frat house, and he's like, I drink a whiskey drink, I drink a vodka drink, and when I have to pee, I use the kitchen sink. Like, that's fucking me.
If you use a sink, that's an improvement for you.
Just pee on the floor. I know.
Manuel just pees on the carpet, just lets it soak up. I'm just like, the smell of human filth.
I'm not sure if I've ever told this story because because usually when I try to tell it, I get cut off. Not because I get cut off because nobody wants to hear it, but I just get cut off, and because we're all talking at once and I forget. But when I was really young, I told this story like when I was really young. I used to live like this really cheap ghetto ass apartment, like with my family, obviously, and somebody was in the bathroom and was in there for a very long time. By the way, I was like 5 or 6, and I had to like pee really, 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 really bad, and I didn't know what to do. And like we lived in like this complex, and by this age, because we live in the ghetto, I was a ghetto kid, I already understood the concept of peeing outside if I needed to. But like for some reason, I think they were like,
bro, like every single like shitty apartment, like efficiency, all that shit, they got toilets. The fuck you talking about?
So I wanted, so I was like, do I go outside and pee? And I think that my friends were playing or something like that. We're playing outside. So I'm like, fuck, I can't pee out there. So I dead ass peed in the corner of our living room.
Well, see, yo, that's actually good. That's good because not everybody thinks to like at least go into the corner.
But yeah, dead ass peed in the corner.
Like partition it off. It's like, okay, so at least I'm gonna put it all in like one place. This is the pee spot.
But yeah, and we moved out of there not that long after this because not because they found the pee, but I just remember I was just like
probably crime. I'm guessing.
Manuel went all scorched earth.
But it was just
some
funny,
pee everywhere now.
I peed there, and then like I think I even hit it like I think because we had like a clothes hamper in that area, so I just like dragged the hamper over a bit, and I'm like on top of the pee now.
Wait.
But anyways, I'm Manuel. I pee in corners, or I have at least once in my life, and yeah, that's it.
Did the stream stop by
Wait,
chance?
did it?
No. Okay, we're still good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just checking. All right.
Hey, why did we get more viewers? Because I mentioned peeing in the corner.
Yep, there you go.
Everyone wants to
cross that off the bingo board, everybody.
Man, we did it. Peeing somewhere on the floor.
Manuel has always talked about peeing somewhere in something, in somebody, on somebody, on everything.
It's not a detail without Manuel talking about peeing. Actually, I think we didn't do it canon for like the last couple ones.
Yeah, we didn't. The definitely the last one and the one before. I think the last one was the only. Yeah, we didn't talk about it. Oops, gotta make up for lost time. Look, we're gaining viewers. What happened?
Make up for lost speed.
You're talking about peeing on things in places that you shouldn't.
I went peeing.
When you get an audience that you didn't expect, but now it's like, well, now I gotta like live up to expectations.
Now you have to go pee in your corner in your little dungeon right there.
Like, now I feel obligated.
You have to pee in my corner now. It's like, god damn it, gotta do what I gotta do. Gotta do it for the fans.
Feels bad.
Pee for the fans.
Anyways, introduce yourselves, guys, so we can get the show on the road.
You didn't finish introducing yourself.
Oh, I'm Manuel. I pee in corners. That's it.
Oh my god. Do you have a website? Streams?
AJ Connections. I also host a podcast called Ultra Podcast Z, and I also host the gaming stream with this motherfucker in the corner, Warren, on Wednesdays. We're playing Wild Arms 2. And also, this is one of the last ETLs, so enjoy it while you can.
We have no idea how many we got left in us.
We have 6 more because we're going to 69 because that's the funny number. So
what's it funny? Explain.
Because it looks like a sexual position. I just explained it for real.
All right, you did it. Good job.
What?
I couldn't think of anything funny, so I just said why it's funny.
You did it. Good job.
I'm gonna pour a shot. Keep going. Introduce yourselves.
Warren, would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? My name is Warren, aka Frederick Badman, aka that dude, but not that dude, aka Too Many Names McGee, and yeah, we do DTL. That is gonna die. Rest in peace soon. And then also do the gaming thing on Wednesdays with Manuel. We're playing Wild Arms 2, but we actually played Oregon Trail 2, and it was fucking horrendous.
That was a disaster in a lot of ways. We kept dying.
It's pretty boo boo.
First of all, we had technical issues and we kept dying.
Like
it was
the first one. We cheated the fuck out of that one. And yeah, and then we're doing metal, and then we're finally bringing back the metal panel this year. The further we get to May during Fanime, but I will not spoil that yet.
I mean,
I'll hand this off to Pleiades. Oh, this
Woo! It is yours truly, the internet's shitposting demon lord, also known as the intergalactic pretty boy. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at PLEIA_DS for the best fuckery, lewds, and memes imaginable. Probably. I don't know. You might have a lot of imagination. I don't. So that explains a lot.
And what is the show? What is the show? What is the show?
This show is called DTL. For what it's worth, for however many we got in here, short for Drink Talk Learn, where we come in with some subject. Usually, we wind up doing a little presentation on it. Variable time range between anywhere between 30 minutes to hopefully less than an hour. But the idea is that after the first 3 minutes, we have to take a drink. Therefore, it becomes a little game of a verbal obstacle course where we will kind of try to milk the other one into either getting off topic or maybe talking more about what they're doing, just to like run out the clock and just get them absolutely hammered. Needless to say, we are professionals. We are all of age. Everything we're doing is we know what we're doing. If you want to drink along at home, only obviously if you are of age and only if you're doing it responsibly. Any stupid things that you would happen to do during this span of time is all on you, boo-boo. So don't come at us with any of that bullshit.
There you go.
That's the show. Good night, everyone. I'm just kidding.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We're done. Turn off my camera.
What streaming service is Peacemaker on? I need to watch that. Everyone keeps talking about Peacemaker.
Oh, that's HBO Max.
Oh, is it HBO Max? I don't have HBO Max.
It's worth it.
Want me to give you? I could give you a link.
Okay, yeah, we'll get the link later. We're pirates.
To HBO Max. A link to HBO Max.
Yeah, a link to HBO. A link to like
it's literally just the website.
Here's the site where you can sign up for the service. That's what we're doing.
You know, a link to sign up. Yeah, to sign up for HBO Max. We got that. We got that.
Oh man, it's funny because like HBO Max, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they owned by like Comcast and AT&T? Aren't they like part of the giant conglomerate?
I believe
so
I'm like 80% of. Like,
I'm serious. I'm pretty so if I say anything shady about them, it's like, and I think my internet is AT&T, so it's like next thing you know, I'm getting my service shut off.
Anyway,
it's okay. Here, I'll draw a bigger target. Fuck Disney. There you go.
Fuck Disney. Yeah. Fuck Amazon.
Even though I still totally got Disney Plus, I'm not canceling that shit.
Yeah, I got Disney Plus too. I'm just like, oof.
Yeah, I leech off his Disney Plus, which is how I was watching The Simpsons.
That is also how. That's also apparently you made Q come to me for the Disney Plus.
See, I didn't make her come to you because she would not stop bothering me, and I was all like, "It's not my account; it's Warren's." And I just find it hilarious that rather than give up and like just get her own or do whatever she had to do, that she just was like, "Warren, give me your password."
I mean, yeah. Well, okay, that's fair. It's like
there's no limits, so I don't care.
You know, it's like, oh, who are you here with? And like, you know, it's your homie or whatever. It's like I feel weird because I wasn't directly given the invitation, so.
Yeah, because we were watching some Disney stuff at ALA, and I guess she assumed it was like mine because I'm like signed into it, and she's like, "I need to watch the new like a Ladybug or whatever that show's called, Miraculous Ladybug," and I guess that's Disney Plus. I watched The Descendants, Disney's Descendants, because I saw the musical the other day, and
I don't even know what that is.
The movie's kind of the movie's funny because like I kind of like the movie in a way that like. It's definitely not for me. Like it's made for somebody far younger than me, so I'm not gonna like really judge it. But it was a good movie. It felt like if I was of this age group, like if I had a kid who was like who was like a teenager, which I technically would if I was like screwing when I was in high school, like most of my other like high school age friends, who is a teenager now, I wouldn't mind if they're watching this movie. It kind of reminds me of like when I would like watch like She's All That or movies like that. But
yeah, there's a thing where it's like. I realized like people get mad at cartoons, and I'm just like, man, it's cartoons. We really like if we're grown ass adults, it feels kind of like dumb to be mad about cartoons. Like, are we seriously like this is what we're fucking like upset about?
Go tell what's his name? Go tell the Quartering that.
He's like the thing is like he's done the same thing that like a lot of like commentary people came into. It's like at first, like they might have actually had like decent things to say, but like now they're so fucked because they have to constantly be saying shit, which leads to them having to make up things to be upset about.
Yeah,
it's literally what happened with fucking mainstream news. It's like you have to like make things into a bigger thing than they actually are just to keep the lights on. It's fucking toxic.
I'm so upset. There's this band, and I've even talked about them briefly on DTL one time. There's this band I really like. They're called Omnia. And they're like quote unquote like the pagan folk metal type thing, and I'm 99% sure that they live in Europe. They might live here now in the US, but they're definitely European. And they recently they released a song on YouTube like just a couple days ago, and it's called Ballad of the Freedom Convoy. And I was like, no. So I clicked on it, and it's first of all like they do very Celtic-ish songs usually. This isn't Celtic. This is like a country, Woody Guthrie-esque like country song. So first of all, it sounds very like West Virginian. Let's use that word. And it's basically all about like, oh, the government's lying to us. Don't get the vaccine. Fight for your freedoms. Like, oh no, you're one of these. So
they
yeah,
get Kid Rock on there.
Honestly, no joke. It sounded like
they know
the country.
Yeah, they're gonna tell me
it
how
sounded like
the
bootleg country version of Kid Rock. It sounded like the bootleg country version of Kid Rock, and I'm just like, I can't listen to the band anymore.
It's just so weird because it's Canadian, so it's like that shit always like is so weird to me. Where it's like okay, you could like obviously it's not saying that you like can't have an interest in like politics like going on in like countries like outside of yours, but it's just like. This would be like if I was like pro fucking workers party or like pro Tories or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. Like what? This shit don't like connect.
It's and like I said, they might live here. I think they might live here now, but they're not American. So just like they're not even American. I know they say about Canadians, but like the whole thing just seems like, why are you talking about this? And then I dug a little deeper because some of the comments on YouTube, and I refuse to comment or dislike. By the way, if you ever see something online, period, that you don't like, the best thing you could do is not interact with it. Because even if you are talking shit about it, or if you like dislike it, you're feeding the algorithm. It doesn't matter. So the best thing you can do is just walk away. The internet, no one wants you to walk away.
That's the other thing. Like when you're like, like that, your whole thing and how you make money is attention. You'll say stupid shit just to get attention, even if you know it's wrong and you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like I've seen so many people just go completely downhill. Like I'm pretty sure that's Movie Bob's entire MO at this point.
Movie Bob. By the way, we spent an hour. We haven't done shit. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize it was this long. I thought we've only been talking for like 20 minutes. I blame Spider Woman.
I think you went into stories of like at least 3 different Simpsons episodes.
Yeah, we'll take a whiskey drink. I take a vodka drink, and if I have to pee, I use the kitchen sink.
I get knocked out, then I get up again, and I'm gonna get me down. I get knocked down.
I just remember,
I love that song.
Speaking of a band like that, I'm not sure if they're like crazy these days too, but I do remember when that album came out, like because they're like the definition of one-hit wonders. Like that was like their 10th album too, and they're very like anarchist peoples. So when they were being interviewed, they're all like, they were like, yeah, if you like our song, just go steal the album. We've already got paid for it.
I mean, to be fair, like this is what's fucked. They're probably right. And and it's like the whole thing was like, yeah, the record label fucked us, so we're not getting anything anyway.
Yeah, they're probably not getting they're probably not getting a per album cut. It's like
they're getting the fucking Spotify treatment.
Yeah. Oh, who's this?
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
Is this Warren?
Yeah.
Is this?
Yeah, this is me.
Yo,
that Kid Rock song. But that part sound like how South Park. But this sounds like sounds like South Park. Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
It does kind of sound. Alabama man. Alabama man.
It's just, I don't know.
Oh, I have to exit out of this.
Did you know?
I gotta exit out of it.
Shit, my fucking leg.
Hey, can you guys tell me if you guys can hear this right here?
Manuel D's nuts.
Yes.
Hey, wait.
Manuel D's nuts.
Manuel D's nuts. What are you talking? Why are you doing that?
I just gotta make sure you guys can hear the system audio.
These nuts.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me. Oh god damn it, that song's fucking terrible. Don't listen to it, guys.
I remember
knocking on.
I don't want to tell that story anymore. But it's a short story. I just want to tell it. Let's go. It's started. So 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna hit the timer. 3. 2, sorry, I counted down like two times too early. 3.
Wait. So. Okay.
Huh?
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, there goes.
Woo! 3, 2, 1.
So I didn't know what to come up with this week. So we were watching Kung Fu Panda, right?
That's racist.
And some guy was like, "No, god damn it!"
I wanted to see that.
I was watching Kung Fu Panda with Leslie. She was watching the series, and some guy was just like, "We gotta stop this tomfoolery." And I was like, "Tomfoolery." And I sat there and I was like, "I know what tomfoolery means, but what the fuck? Where did they find? Where does this where tomfoolery come from?" Right? So I was searching it up. I was like, "What is tomfoolery?" Right? And apparently, in the Middle Ages, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Thome Thome space FOLE was a name assigned to those perceived to have little intelligence. And I was like, eventually it evolved to the spelling to be tomfool, which then was capitalized. And it's kind of interesting. So I was like, I want to figure this out. Like I was like, tomfoolery, right?
I like where this is going.
And then eventually I was like, instead of words, I kind of accidentally stumbled onto some idioms, and I was like, "Oh, this would be pretty interesting."
This could be this. Okay, this is gonna be very
so
interesting.
some may that you may or may not. Oh, you may not. I fucked up right there, but I was just like, some you may or may not know.
You may not know.
You may not know. I mean, you could say you may or may not, but if you say you may not, it means the same thing.
I like how you left the instructions.
Oh, I know. I didn't. All right. By the skin of my teeth. All right. Do you guys know what that meaning is?
Yeah, it's like barely.
Yeah, so like basically narrowly escaping or achieving something, like barely, like by a hair. On its origin, okay, it was actually from Job, from the New King James Bible, Job.
It is Job.
1920.
Job.
Job.
I told my girlfriend that whole story. She was like, "What?" That was some shit I could not fucking believe, and I was like,
I didn't believe it either.
Like, read me the story. I'm like, God's a dick. Are you serious? Just to prove a fucking point?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. He don't love us. Okay, good. Continuing. So this is my bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. I thought, by the way, this is also Skin of My Teeth is actually a song for Megadeth.
My bone.
Oh, it is.
My skin. Mm-hmm. All right, that's all right.
Bull in a china shop. You guys know what the meaning of this one is?
So that one is actually inaccurate.
It's me when I go to Warren's house. He's kind of racist.
It's you?
Wow.
Why? Oh,
I'm calling myself a bull. Like I'm just like big, and I'm going to the China.
And I'm Asian.
A more accurate thing is when you are handling like, old, expensive games and drinking.
Oh, but that means when you're like in a fine shop. By the way, China does not refer to China. The China does not.
Yeah, I just capitalized it because it was a title. So,
but yeah,
so it's a bull in the China shop.
Wrestler.
That's basically when you like you fucking shut up. Like you're being careless. That's a better way to put it.
You're being super careless in times when you need to be super careful.
Yeah.
Fun fact: this is actually derived from the first time Manuel actually stepped in a China shop.
Yeah.
Before all of this was determined, he was in fact the first bull in a China shop.
They call him El Toro.
That's racist. That's racist.
So the origin. So apparently it was like,
El Toro.
So apparently there's no like precise origin, but the first time that anybody has seen it in writing was Jacob Faithful's Marriott's novel, Frederick Marriott's novel Jacob Faithful in 1834. But Mythbusters actually debunked this idiom a little bit because they did a thing where they put up. I don't know if you guys, like Pleiades obviously saw it, but basically they put up a whole bunch of shells with China on it, and they had bulls run through it, and some like they knocked some over because you're kind of big and it was kind of narrow, but most of the time they're just kind of like tiptoeing around it or tiptoeing through it. And then they even put like hella then eventually it was like one by one, like one like ox at a time, and eventually they put some together, and they were still kind of like avoiding everything, didn't knock anything over.
That's weird.
So the elephant in the room. This is pretty easy. Everybody knows what an elephant in the room is.
It's like when I have to tell Pleiades that like I want to pee in his butt. Drink, by the way.
That's not what that is because you say it all the time. An elephant in the room is exactly when you don't say something.
Oh well, it's
like,
the sexual tension between us. Anyways, keep going.
Who's us?
I'm just kidding. Keep going.
So the origins, in 1814, a poet and fabulist Ivan Krylov wrote a fable called The Inquisitive Man, which basically is a dude who goes into the museum and he notices all the small things, but doesn't notice the literal elephant that is in the museum.
All the small things.
Is that
true?
That's it's almost similar to not seeing the forest for the trees. It's kind of like what that not exactly the same, but yeah.
Huh. Okay. That's a good one. I like how the elephant's on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
there's that sexual tension, apparently.
Drink. Out of the blue.
All right.
That's a fucking metaphor for like a fucking crumbling relationship is what that is.
Out of
that
nowhere.
Is what a divorce looks like.
So, yes, the meaning behind out of the blue is just fucking out of fucking nowhere. Like, it's random. Like, what the fuck? Right? Suddenly, without warning. And its origin, and actually the earliest known use of this is from the French Revolution, written by Thomas Carlyle in 1837. It's like arrestment, sudden, really as a bolt out of the blue, has hit strange victims. And I was like, what the fuck? This is where out of the blue, like, I guess I think it, something just falls out of the sky. Apparently that's what it kind of.
Zeus is pissed.
Like, but one of my homies' version of this.
That's how he.
Your homie's version. What's the homie say?
My homie's version, he said this one day he came out, I was like, out of the blue, fuck. And I was like, he said, and his sister came in and it's like, he said that wrong. I was like, I know, but I understood what he meant. It's random. So my friend, my boy David, so that's now his quote, is out of the blue, fuck. So the tail wagging the dog. Yeah, have you guys heard of this shit?
Wait, what? No, I don't think so.
I haven't, but I might now once you explain it.
Yeah, explain it.
So it's mostly used in politics, but it's not exclusive, just exclusive to it. Its meaning is basically like having the smallest or the least important things control like the bigger narrative, the most important
politics.
Pretty much. So it's like it refers to typical roles. Kind of like we have in politics, we have it like what the night you came in drunk, you knocked over shit, and your mom yelled at you. The next day, you're like, "Mom, I made you breakfast." But you're just like, You're trying to butter me up, kind of like that, right? It's just like you're doing the smallest little thing to kind of like swivel around the problem that happened. And its origin actually comes from the saying the dog is smarter than the tail, but if the tail were smarter, the tail would wag the dog.
Yeah.
It's
interesting.
The earliest use of this phrase is from this like a play called Our American Cousin, which is basically
that's the one that Lincoln got killed watching. Wait,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said that weird, but you know what I meant.
No, we understood. No, it was
always wanted to see that play. I was just curious.
There is a movie called Wag the Dog, where the president basically he's trying to get reelected and he's failing, so he comes up with a scheme to use military action to save his campaign. The year after this, Monica Lewinsky scandal happened, and then Bill Clinton started shooting off missiles and shit after.
I remember that. He's about to get impeached, and then suddenly he's he's all sweaty in front of like the nation's like, yes, I've launched an attack on this country somewhere in the Middle East.
So that is one of the biggest, the classic
fucking
wagging the tail wagging the dog is Bill Clinton over here literally doing what this movie did.
That's a fucking scene from the Chappelle Show where Dave Chappelle was doing like, what if Bush was black? It's like oil. You cooking? Like, you fucking knocks everything, bro.
What the fuck? What is happening?
All right,
anyways?
We're next. Let me see. So these are.
It pisses me off. You changed the way that they're laid out, but anyways.
Because I kind of had to change this. So this is something that is these are like kind of idioms. I didn't put a title page, but these are idioms from like different languages and different cultures and whatnot. So this is the riding elephant to catch a grasshopper. I don't know.
In general,
it's in Thai, by the way.
Oh, so I was right. Because we'll say like nobody talks about grasshoppers unless you're Asian.
So basically, this is how it's said.
Drink, by the way.
ขี่ช้างจับตั๊กแตน
That I could not Romanize that. It's very, very difficult.
Oh my!
So its meaning is basically
that's a big cluster of letters right there.
So this meaning, the actual meaning is like just putting a lot of effort into with getting little getting a little bit back. So never bring yes, you're doing too much for something so little, or never bring a huge, don't use a big tool for a small job.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said. Anyways, wait, what? Am I insulting myself? Anyways, keep going.
Apparently.
Okay. So this one is are you still riding the goat?
What is this? What is this? This is picture.
It's a guy riding it.
Man.
I've never heard this, by the way. I want to use this from now on, though. What is this? Is that like? So is that like? Are you still on the? Are you still on the wagon? Like, is that with sobriety?
No. This is actually a lot different. You're way off. So basically, it's an idiom used by the Cheyenne tribe, a Native American tribe in the Northeast. And what it's the I cannot say that, and I will not butcher this. So this is how you say it.
Wait, what is this? Oh, you know what's crazy about that? I don't think that goats are native to the Americas, so that must be a relatively weird post-Western saying. But yeah, I mean, like, you know what I mean to say. But anyways, keep going. Just fun fact. Horses
so the meaning. Either. It's a way of asking someone if they're separated from their spouse.
This is such a boomer thing to say.
So, why a goat? I don't know, man. If she's the goat, then there's something to be asking. You still with that goat?
You see how with the goat? That sounds like. Are they available?
Drink.
Like, are you off the list? Does that mean that can I get in line?
I won't say who, but they are no longer with us, so may they rest in peace. But I had this much older family member, like obviously somebody of a much older generation, different generation. And mind you, him and his like wife weren't like fighting. They weren't that kind of relationship. But it's just kind of old timey. I hate my wife, like every boomer has, like in the 50s. And he used to.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah, his
marital dysfunction.
His pet name for his wife, who was also a relative of mine, obviously, was Snake. I'm not making this up. He would call her Snake. Snake? Yeah, he would like Snake. Did you make me breakfast? Like Snake. But like he would also say it when they were like he was being nice. It was always like, oh, thank you for this Snake.
Oh, I thought he would be like you like yes, go over to his house. And he's like, hey, what are you doing today, uncle? Or relative. And he's like, I need to go mow the lawn. He's like, but your lawn cut. He's like, Nah, man, I got a snake in my house.
You got a snake in my house.
Incidentally, that's funny for like one bullet. Just pro tip: do not fucking do that shit if you want your relationship to last long. It eventually, like you say, if the more you say that shit, eventually the joke becomes true. Like, learn this firsthand. Don't do that shit.
Don't be those old timey 50s couples that like apparently always hate each other. Anyways.
Yes, no, this one dumplings over flowers.
Hana Yori Dongo.
No.
You are right, my friend.
I even know what this means only because of the fucking show.
Did you post that picture of the dongo before?
No, I just put that dongo over the flowers because it's
okay. Let's say, like, I swear I saw that like, last week. That exact
funny.
Picture.
Maybe Pleiades knows it, but there's a similar saying in Spanish that my mom used to always, one of my grandmothers actually would always tell me. I don't remember what it is. I couldn't say it anyways in Spanish. There's a very similar idea. The whole idea. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and say what this is. I don't want to take your presentation away, but I'll say the Spanish one in a second.
Oh, so I mean, so typically it's just to say, you know, functionality over beauty, or just like functionality over form. So, you know, you kind of want things, you know, it's just kind of like that's what they kind of used it for. It's just like, you know, it looks pretty, but does it, you know, you'd want something more practical than something that looks good, which doesn't work.
13.
But what's the origin?
I didn't put the origin, Manuel.
Oh, well, I was just going to talk about the origin is from.
So go ahead.
The idea is you're at a festival and you're at the Cherry Blossom Festival, which is called, what the fuck is that called? Anyway.
Sakura something.
Yeah. Anyways, so you got the festival, and rather than
Japanese fiesta,
rather than looking at the pretty flowers, which you're supposed to be there for, you go to the food booths instead. And you like. There's a similar saying in Spanish, and I forgot how it goes, but there's a similar saying in Spanish where it's all like its origin's the same, but the meaning's different. Basically, it's like, hey, we're at this thing to do something. Stop eating the food or whatever. It's probably very local because my mom never said it, just like my dad's grandmother did. Anyways.
You know what it is? It's like in the cartoons when it'd be like, oh, we think so and so is doing something shifty, so we're gonna like wear a disguise and go track them. And like they get to a place and it's like, hey, you see what they're doing, blah, blah, blah? And the other person's like fucking, I don't know, like getting snacks or like dancing or some shit. It's like, we are here for something.
There's
like for real. I think did I write any more? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I fucked up on this one. Just forget this. Oh, here we go. Oh, hey. So a tiger's bite.
Is that a picture of Leslie? I don't know why I want to call it Leslie. That picture of Leslie.
I mean, Leslie the tiger. She go ahead. She could pounce on me all she wants.
Oh my god.
Sheesh.
That was actually
Manuel. You fucked up.
That was an opening for me to like start you like saying mean things about Leslie, like in that funny old timey way when you hate your wife. But you took it.
That's a compliment.
But yes, that is. So tiger bite. So basically, this is a Hmong one. So we say chao, which is like literally just tiger bite. So it's actually, so the meaning is actually, we use it to just kind of like, you could curse somebody with it. And so like basically you're using it's like a curse word. No, not cursing, but like you're like, you know, that's
like, what I thought.
Bitch. Like, as in a curse, as in use it to curse at someone. That's what I wrote there. That's a phrase to curse at somebody with. It can be used directly and in general. So it's kind of like almost like a son of a bitch kind of thing. Because my grandma, whenever she fucking sneezes, and she sneezes hell loud, she's like, it's just like, oh shit, grandma, I'm sorry.
She throw out her back like I did.
No, she has it. She just don't got no teeth. That's different.
She's not as boomer as me. I'm not as boomer as your grandma. I mean, I'm more boomer than your grandma's, I meant to say, but yeah.
You probably can't.
But so whatever you do not direct this towards a Hmong person. It's super offensive. People get super mad. You never want to say this. And actually, there is apparently the origin from this one that I read, which is right before we did our presentation, was that they said the tiger bite thing is like used as as offensive to like, you call someone stupid basically, because they're like, you're so dumb that you got close enough to a tiger to bite you. Like, why did you get so close?
Yo, that's the equivalent of like motherfuckers jumping into gorilla enclosures to get selfies.
Are you talking about fucking Harambe? But
Harambe, the gorilla pirate?
No, that thing.
Don't you start that?
Fell in there. No, idiots are actually like grown ass adults jumping into like
I'm
freaking animal enclosures.
Oh, you have more.
To get selfies.
I don't have
and,
more,
like,
but
the statistics of like those like accidents are it's not even an accident. It's just play a stupid game, win a stupid prize.
Yeah, like the people over at Yellowstone.
What?
Remember the people, that lady at Yellowstone got almost got destroyed by a buffalo?
The
Probably.
fuck? By the way, I'm not laughing about that. I'm laughing real fast. I wanted to say that when I was a kid, and I think they made fun about this. I only learned about this because of Married with Children when they were making fun of Al for thinking this too. I used to think Jellystone National Park was a real park.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Jellystone is the park from what the fuck's
Bear.
that cartoon called? Yeah, I'm like, I know Boo Boo's the other one, but what the fuck's that? But yeah,
Also,
Yogi.
They rebooted that, and it's called like I'm pretty sure it's called like Jellystone or whatever the fuck. It's on HBO Max. It's a really fucking funny cartoon. It's weird. Like I've never watched a Hanna-Barbera property and actually laughed wholeheartedly.
What did you say about that, Boo Boo? I can't do that. I can't do it. Hey, Boo Boo.
I fucked up. I fucked up. I forgot to switch out the photos. So just pretend that it's a pie coming from the sky, which is actually like apparently showing a white girl turning into a black colored person. So the meaning is behind this is something nice but unlikely to happen. So it's just like basically having like empty wishes. As you can see, so the origin is actually a phrase in the song "The Preacher and the Slave" from in 1911 by a Swedish American activist and songwriter Joe Hill.
Joe Hill is the son of
so basically
Stephen King.
So that's really supposed to be like a parody.
Jonah Hill's dad.
Anyway,
RIP. It's supposed to be a parody of the Salvation Army hymn, "In Sweet By and By." So basically, he saw the song. So Joe Hill's song is supposed to criticize the Salvation Army for focusing on people's salvation instead of their material needs. AKA back in the day in the 1900s when they're like prayers and fucking thoughts doesn't matter, bitch, because people need to fucking live.
It's only
they need
it's not
shit.
Prayers and thoughts. It's prayers and thoughts. And if I thought I spelled it differently in my head, you guys don't know that.
THOTS.
Anyway, drink.
Oh, okay. I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I did.
It's the real precision.
Oh, yeah, okay, that is. Yo, I had another one. That I did, but I think I took it off. So let me stop sharing.
What is it? Oh shit, he's gone. Oh look, I swear to God, whenever more of that picture's shown, it looks like we're about to see titty.
Oh yeah.
Like that picture is.
She
barely...
does have a great set.
It's actually I didn't mean to. I looked her up after I looked the show up, and I looked her up, and because we were talking about her last week, not last week, but last time we did this 2 weeks ago, and ones where her chest is exposed are among the first hits you hit when you Google.
She's got great tits.
Who?
What
happened?
I'm being all subtle, and then you're like, she has great tits.
No, her tits are great. Honestly, but like
Euphoria girl.
Cassie.
There you go.
That's not her name. It's Sydney Sweeney, I think.
Yes.
Fuck. But no, yeah, she has great tits. She's also an amazing actress. Like she's like a secondary character, and somehow she's completely fucking not stolen the show.
Oh, thank you for the
there's a lot of good fucking acting in the show, but but what I mean is just cool because she was like a sideline character, and then like she is like really coming to her role.
Yeah, I need to watch that show too. Not just because apparently the titties, but I keep hearing a lot of things about it. Not necessarily good things, but I'm just curious. It's one of those shows, especially if you're on TikTok, where people do not stop talking about it, and I kind of just want to watch it so I can get
this. So here's
trying to get
every
the scoop.
Sunday. Every Sunday is Euphoria Day, and I can instantly tell because my timeline like fucking flooded. And honestly, it's kind of fun. It is fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like at a certain point, like I get kind of annoyed if in the middle of the week I get like just Euphoria floods like in my timeline, just because it's like, guys, can we chill like until Sunday?
Excuse me.
But I haven't felt this way watching a show week to week since like Code Geass is the thing. Like where it's actually something always happens every week, and every single moment is just memeable. There's bullshit. Everybody's like talking about team this, team that, whatever the fuck. It's really a fun social experience. I fucking love this.
I'm gonna go pee real fast, and then when I come back, I'll just start my presentation. So,
There
won't be much of a break in between. Don't worry, guys. I'm pretty sure after mine, when I'm really buzzed, it'll be a non sequitur 30 minutes. But until then, I'll be right back.
Very good. In the meantime, I'm gonna just go ahead and post, share something that made me realize my brain is ruined forever at this point. It's like just being on the internet, I feel, has just changed the context of so many different things for me.
Let's see. You have like, you can share screen.
No, I'm sharing it. Yeah. I just wanted to like bring it up on the thing.
This would be fun to just like have some visuals.
Think about it.
Hold up. Okay, hold up.
80s song lyrics.
Is this fucking? Are you fucking Rick rolling me?
Are you seeing? Do you fucking see? I have terminal brain worms.
Never gonna give. Oh shit! I almost knocked down my whole laptop. I had a towel over the webcam, and when I pulled the towel off, like everything almost fell forward.
Manuel, look at this shit.
I know it's this is the one where it's like 80 song, and it's like never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. I've always said this. I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head now, but the other song, Forever Laugh. What the fuck? How does the song go? It sounds very similar.
They have a different song?
Wait, Forever.
He has a lot of songs. Rick Astley. He has like a lot of big.
He has a whole bunch of songs.
Oh,
but
shit,
it's just the meme is just
like,
you know.
The other video is even very memey. The Together Forever. That song is called. Together. I can't sing.
Oh, that was him too. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. Okay.
And if you watch that video is even more memey because he had that dancing bartender. But like no one ever memes that. But yeah, together forever and da 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 da. I don't know the words, but yeah.
I'm listening to it right now.
I love that song. That's actually a really good song. That's by far my favorite song of his, and it's one of my favorite songs like of the 80s period. I love that song.
That song?
This song's so tight.
Yeah, it's a good song. I actually never really cared about Never Gonna Give You Up. Like if I was putting in, I don't like to put a lot of songs with the same artist, especially with like a decade playlist. So if I was putting him on there, like Rick Astley, I would put Together Forever instead of Never Gonna Give You Up. And this is
you're
long
a hipster.
before. This is long before the meme. Like I knew, like that makes me a hipster. I knew who he was like when I was in high school.
Yes, we said this. You trying not to be like a hipster is hipster because you're too concerned about like not being in the consensus than actually like the quality of the thing.
The hilarious thing is you don't know this
how
yet.
The fuck of all 80 songs, you're not putting a fucking Michael Jackson song in there?
Michael Jackson is probably.
You know, I realized.
And the funny thing about him is that even when the new bout of problematic nonsense popped around,
he didn't do it.
He's been problematic for a long time, or at the very least, there's so many people saying different things about him. I don't mean like he said, she said, like other sides. I mean like just different things, different cases. I'm like some of it. There has to be some.
You look it up. Look at like it's like I did the whole fucking like rabbit hole shit. Is nowhere like it's like
so
they're
I've
fucking
always
digging some shit up. They're trying to fucking like
no, but I've always been weird about just Michael Jackson in general for a long time.
Also he's dead, so like even then like you listen to a song and it's not gonna
yeah, but I mean most of my music is either really old MP3. And I don't mean like I guess I technically stole it at some point, but like I like either I downloaded it somewhere or I used to rent CDs from the library and then burn those, and then I kind of just been carrying my MP3 library for like 20 years basically.
You know those files like degrade over time, right?
The files don't degrade. Well, they can if you're like mishandling them, which is probably why my copy, which I did own the CD for, which is gone now, but my digital copy, my MP3s of the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, the one that has Brandy in it,
Ooh, okay.
The Disney one, like from the 90s.
Mhm.
My soundtrack is all fucked up. Like the files are like broken.
I told you that over time, especially like on like a hard drive, it's like how like it's
is
not
this
exactly
true?
but
Is
like
this true? What's his name?
the material like
Mr.
fucks
Shocker?
up and decays. What?
No, I'm just asking Mr. Shocker in the chat. I'm like, is that true? The digital files, they're great. Wait, where's Molly's thing? My uncle was a prospector against my yeah, a prosecutor.
A prosecutor? He was Stinky Pete.
This guy said fucking
Hey, everybody,
prospector.
Molly's uncle is Stinky Pete.
Yeah. Stinky Pete, like, what's that you say? Like, gold in them dar hills?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, anyways, well, I guess not prosecutor, but represented the other party. Manuel, start your press. Oh yeah, start a presentation. I actually forgot. Thank you for reminding me. But let me know if digital files degrade. Okay, guys, I'm glad Molly's there because I was like, hey, I wanted to save this presentation for when Molly was here, but I actually have a list of the last like handful I want to do, and
I did the same thing. I sat down and like started like, wait, if I know there's only a couple things, I want to
shit, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Okay, it's fine. Hold on, let me. I forgot to share it from here.
I don't know what the heck I want to do. Like, there's a lot, but then I was just like, do I go out with the bang? Let's just
Oh my god, what the hell am I doing? But yeah, so I already have it written
every morning.
But the one I'm doing tonight, I technically had already written it in the past, so I kind of just like finished it. So that's the reason why I'm doing this one now. I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know how to do this. Oh, I found it. God,
there's literally a button.
Yeah, I'm just stupid.
Together forever.
Okay.
No matter how long.
Man, to the end of time. Wait, that's a different song.
Together forever. And you can be sure.
Don't show this
that forever and a day. That's how long we'll stay together.
What song are you singing?
That's
Pokemon song.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon song.
Oh, is it from the movie?
No, it's a To Be a Master, whatever the shit. The first CD.
Yeah, I have that CD. I remember when I was a kid, I bought that at a yard sale, and I fucking love that CD. It also has the full Pokemon theme, and I'll never forget. As a kid, I was shocked there was a second verse I never knew.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. I geeked out when that shit happened.
I'm like, there's a second verse. Anyway. And like me and my stupid, yeah, and no one ever knows that one. And even when Jason Page, he's the guy who does the song, he was like doing, like he kind of had a new resurgence about 5 years ago, and he kept doing the convention circuit, and everybody would sing along like, "Oh fuck" for that first verse, but then you get to the second, it'd be like, until they got back to the chorus. But anyways, why does it keep saying?
That's how it
sharing?
be though.
Hide. Okay. Are you guys gonna just see my fucking taskbar? Let me close some shit in case it's like
we can
down here. Hold on.
You should you can share according to the app, not just the window.
It's fine. As long as you guys don't hear yourself, it's fine. I don't think I have anything questionable up, so it's fine. I think last time
So he says.
So start the timer. I poured my drink.
Hold up. Technically, it's actually what we use is actually a stopwatch, not a timer, because it's counting up, not down.
Exactly. It's actually funny because whenever I type in timer into Google, because there's like a built-in timer Google has, it always takes me to the wrong thing. I'm like, I don't need the timer, I need the other one, and it's called the stopwatch. But
for how many episodes we've done this, that means that Timer-chan isn't Timer-chan, she's Stopwatch-chan.
Stopwatch-chan. You should.
Oh, that's true.
That's wild. We've been living a lie. We should count me down. Have you already started?
Already got it.
Bitch?
You know how long was mine today?
It was like 20 minutes.
Oh yay! Okay.
So today we're doing lots of musical nonsense. Or yes, Manuel loves musicals. I'm not gonna lie, this one's not the most visually appealing of them all, but I'm gonna talk about a lot of shit and play some music. Not play some music, but like talk about some shit. So one down DTL, I have I've been wanting to do this for a while. Basically, musical episode. Presentation. Originally, when I first thought,
you're gonna sing then?
I'm gonna get to that in a second. Originally, I thought of a very lazy top 5 musical songs presentation if I was ever like rushing a week, but this was that presentation. But I've changed it a lot. but yeah, it's not a lazy presentation. I threw this together pretty quickly, but it's very full. Like, but I think the difference is that I know these topics so well and I have a lot to say about them that it was like so easy to write.
Yeah. Those are usually like the best ones.
Yeah. And this closes my little trilogy of musical presentations. I did one on JC Superstar and then one on Urinetown. Honestly, the Urinetown is not.
I just got it.
I do like Urinetown the musical. It's not one of my favorites. I just obviously I had to do it because of P, but JC Superstar is my favorite musical. Now, do you recognize the lion right there? I've gone to.
I'm sorry. What the fuck is it? Wait, is that Justin Trudeau?
It looks like I'm Winnie the Pooh. Am I wearing no, this picture has degraded, and it's and
so the picture degraded. Is that a file?
For the record, I'm wearing brown face because that's like brown makeup, not black face. But so I'm being racist against myself. No! I'm being racist against myself. But anyways, but I'm a lion, you idiot. Anyways, I got to dozens of shows over the year.
Is this lion facing?
Though, fun fact, I've only really started going to theater about 7-8 years ago. So I've gone to several before that, but it was always like a couple when I was younger. So, but about like more like 10 years ago, I started going to things more often. Before that, I used to mainly just listen to albums and like watch movies, like musical movies. And also, I was in the high school productions of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I played the Pharaoh, and I think Judah. It was just a random brother. And I was also in the Wiz, the Lion. That's where this picture's from. And they were fun experiences, and it was a lot of fun in general. But I can't sing, so I kind of just talked my way through the Lion songs. Because like there's a song called Mean Old Lion that I had to sing, and I just like talked my way through it. And the Pharaoh, I just cheese that it wasn't that great of
the classic William Shatner.
And even though this presentation is very listy, it's very full of lists. This is not a complete list of all the musicals I like. There's just not enough time for that. So first of all, I'm talking about my top 3 favorite musicals.
Let's go.
So my first one, and it's a mildly controversial one because of what I'm going to say later. It's American Idiot. Now, I'm going to talk about what this means later, but let me just start by saying this is not a jukebox musical. Because whenever we'll get into jukebox musicals later, but basically what they are, that's when you have a musical that's made up of pre-existing music. And a lot of people like to say, oh, but you like American Idiot. I'm like, American Idiot is not a jukebox musical. The album itself was a concept album. And when they made it into a musical, it's still done in track order, and it's the album in its entirety and then added stuff to it. So yeah, it's not a jukebox musical. It's funny because I'm not a big Green Day fan. Like I discovered this album because my then girlfriend was, or still is, I guess. And she loved American Idiot, which was a bit. It wasn't their newest album, but it was kind of new at that time. And she showed it to me, and I liked it. And I've seen this a lot of times, about like 5 or so different productions. There was one really unique one I went to that was in a warehouse, and they used the whole warehouse. It was great. I also went to go see it in like 2019 or 2018 at one of my favorite theaters called the Cupcake Theater, and this is during like the height of the Trump presidency. So, and this is after the whole no Trump, no what is it? No whatever, no KKK, no fascist USA or whatever it was.
What?
Like Green Day said this during the American Music Awards or whatever, and got like all sorts of nonsense about it. They were doing their song and they ended it by saying no Trump, no KKK, no KKK, no fascist USA. And so that version of the musical like had a bunch of Trump imagery.
Were they not there for the Bush presidency? Like,
I'm gonna drink because I feel like you haven't been calling it.
Oh wait, yeah, there's you got another one too.
Okay. This is my favorite songs, and if you know the album, you already know this stuff like Jesus Suburbia, Letter Bomb, Holiday, and Saint Jimmy. Honestly, pretty much the whole musical.
Wait, how's it not a jukebox if they do actually sing? Okay, you know what?
Fun Continue. Fact, I'm gonna play this. This is the version of Holiday that was from the original Broadway cast, and this sounds like they're talking about Trump, but they're talking about George Bush. So hold on.
I mean, it's kind of like
I just find it funny.
Like everything, pretty much.
Hopefully, the timestamp. Oh, the timestamp didn't work. Damn it! Hold on, I'll find it myself. Put it down a little. Sorry.
No, this is perfect.
Actually, yeah. Okay.
It's just hilarious. This part about the governor.
I mean, that was just like Arnold, right?
I just realized I probably should have showed that on Twitch.
Wait, what?
I'm not gonna do it myself, but yeah, I almost did it myself.
They're saying hi.
No. So, in case you don't know what the song's about some like basically people are rioting, and then some people in the riot are realizing there's more money if you join the other side of the riot, like people you're rioting against. And then the song breaks in the middle because the representative from here's Jingletown. In the original song, it's California, who was Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time. Fun fact. Is calling the president Hitler, and the Hitler president was George Bush, not Trump. So I find this amazing that like you could put the song out to, like, maybe not today, but you could put the song out in 2020 and it would have sounded just like it was a modern song.
Well, I mean, Drake, honestly, it'd just be like any Republican president. Really, they would like it apply, like they would apply to that.
But anyways, I did realize that the whole salute, which I almost did myself. I'm like, oh, Manuel, don't do that. Even if you're just
representing. What are you talking about? You were swatting away a fly, right?
Yeah. But I realized of all the things, I shouldn't have showed the clip where he did that because I think you could also do it on Twitch.
Not the brown face. Like, that's what you're like, yeah.
Anyways, my second one is Avenue Q. I've seen this one a bunch, and I'm seeing it in a couple of weeks. Fun fact. Also, I should mention that one of the last times I saw it, the original Broadway actress who played Kate, the main female lead, was playing Kate in the version I saw, even though it was a community version. So that was great. Also, I wanted to go back. I forgot to say this. When I went to go see that version with the no Trump, no KK, no Fascist USA version of American Idiot, the lead of that one was Asian. And I had it on the slide, but I didn't say it. And I was there with an Asian friend of mine, and we were both shocked. We had never seen an Asian lead in a musical in our lives that wasn't at an Asian theater. So it just you never see that. You never see that. There'll be a supporting person maybe, but it'll never be a lead. Say what you will about what that says about everything, but that company put an Asian lead, and that blew my mind. But anyways, Avenue Q. I love a bunch of the songs. I've seen them a lot with people. I can't think of a single room party like with Molly that we haven't sung like Schadenfreude, or like Everyone's a Little Bit Racist, or the internet's for porn, and so on.
Oh, that's a classic.
But yeah. But I will admit, I don't really like listening to the soundtrack on my own. Like I'll never just play it like at my house. So like it's the kind of thing you just play with people. And
honestly, like I think I only ever like found out about Avenue Q because of fucking Oron High School AMVs. Drink.
Also, the musical starts with a song called "What Do You Do with the BA in English," and that song with "It Sucks to Be Me." It's this part. Basically, I felt a lot of myself in this musical, TLDR. But yeah, I already named some of my favorite songs. Here's I guess I gotta find this little clip on my own. Hold on, I'm gonna have to like find it. Hold on, it's somewhere here.
From TV's different strokes. I made a lot of money that got stolen by my folks. Now I'm broke and I'm the butt of everyone's jokes. But I'm here, superintendent, and Avenue Q. It sucks to be you. You win. It sucks to be you. I feel better now. Me. By having people stopping you to ask you, what you talking about, Willis? It gets old.
Say the thing. They all fucking did.
Fun fact, that part was meant to be played by Gary Coleman, who dropped out like literally right before the show opened.
Probably. He probably had an anxiety attack. He's like, fuck this.
I really wish there would have been a timeline where Gary Coleman was Gary Coleman. So I did a whole entire
he was Gary Coleman. What are you talking about?
I mean,
that is the only thing.
Fun fact: this was the first. I know every single word to Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm not going to do it now, but I could literally sing the whole thing badly, mind you. I can sing the musical from start to finish right now without having to look it up. And it's the first musical I actively sought out. Like I wanted to hear it, so I like asked the video store if they had it. I mentioned this before. I got interested in Christianity as a collection of stories as opposed to like a religion. So like it got me like
stories in there. Drink.
Yeah. No offense, obviously, if you find it beyond that, but to me, it's a really good story.
I don't know. There's the thing. Like it's just at least in terms of narrative, like you could get great stories out of like any sort of like mythology and whatnot.
And probably because it's kind of controversial, I've not seen this produced very often. I've only been able to see it twice. Actually 3 times, sorry. Because one of the times I saw was the official touring version several years ago. And I think it's touring again, but I think they canceled it because of COVID. Like they canceled and they keep pushing it back. So who knows? This doesn't come up very often. And honestly, I love the whole thing, but Heaven on Their Minds, we're going to hear next, is one of my favorite. By the way, that's Simon Zalatis. I misspelled that there. YouTube is very crazy about like Jesus Christ Superstar, so we're listening to the Korean one so I don't get claimed.
Yeah, the Korean one.
YouTube is like intense on like copyright. Also, drink.
But this is Heaven on Their Minds. This isn't. Let me put this down a little. This isn't Gethsemane. But this guy really rocks it out though. This is Judas's song, by the way. This entire cast is too good.
Damn.
But yeah, in case you don't know, he's singing about like he's upset with the way Jesus is handling things. He's basically like, "Hey, he should never
imagine criticizing Jesus."
Yeah, and if you never
like,
seen
Jesus listen, man, I know how you said that, but like, listen, I got some notes here.
Yeah. If you've never seen Jesus Christ Superstar, Judas is the main character. I'm not making that up. So yeah.
There's oh god, what is it?
Why don't they keep playing it?
A cartoon where something similar like that happens, but they're animals and they're fucking.
Here's some random musical thoughts. Jukebox musicals. Now these are the epitome of the normie musical. I dislike these. Honestly, I don't dislike them because I think they're like they're trash. I dislike them because I think they're lazy. Like
okay, yeah, I get that. That's why I fucked up Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, they feel like cash grabs. They feel like you're just like there's a jukebox one called We Will Rock You. That's just as bad. It's just like they just take the music because they know people like it and they wrap a loosely veiled story around it. There you go. And they became really popular with Moulin Rouge in 2000 whatever. And then like everyone knows Mamma Mia.
I kind of think that The Wedding Singer is that. But also, I actually enjoy The Wedding Singer, so it's like I realize that it's like lazy, but also I was like, fuck it, it's fun for what it is.
I really don't. Oh, I just realized I realized I couldn't see the chat. Sorry, is there anyone chatting?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. God damn it!
Whiskey drink every time, not a vodka drink. And actually, I don't drink.
No, I thought no one was in the chat, but I was looking at the wrong screen.
Nice.
Anyways,
nice.
Superstar. I actually love ABBA. I love Queen. I love all these. I love these songs. I just feel like it's a lazy thing to do. If you're gonna write a musical about like, and fun fact, the second Mamma Mia 2, ABBA, the people, I don't know if it was the songwriters for ABBA, I don't know if it's all the group, got back together to write new ABBA music for that one. So that one I like a bit more because they're original songs.
Oh yeah, that's like you're adding something. You're not just like reusing it.
And I also I love ABBA. I don't like the song Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia, here we go. I hate that song.
Mama, how can I let you? Mamma Mia.
But anyways, next one is Disney musicals. Now it's easy to hate on Disney. But they have a lot of good properties. And they make good musicals, mainly because a lot of Disney stuff are already musicals. But my biggest gripe with these is that they typically have to change them a lot to make them into proper stage musicals. Like, for example, when they brought Little Mermaid to the stage, they had to add a ton of songs to it. And in case you didn't know, that's a musical written by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. And
yes, those two.
They wrote Little Shop of Horrors. They wrote Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay, never mind. Damn, okay, Little Shop of Horrors. Okay, just shut my mouth.
So, anyways, I can't remember which one. Hopefully, somebody can correct me. I think it was that Howard Ashman passed away while they was working on Aladdin. And so, since he's gone, they wrote new music, and it sounds different. And even when they have the original writers, it usually just they're writing music like years later. It never really fits. I feel. It's it was Ashman. Thank you. But I am a huge fan of Aladdin. Fun fact, the musical version of Aladdin is more accurate to the way Howard Ashman saw the story, because they include Aladdin's friends. He has like I can't remember the name, something Babkak and Kasim. They're in there. There's no Abu, or is Abu? Yeah, the monkey. There's no monkey. I like the musical version better. Anyways, The Lion King and Little Mermaid, but live action adaptations like Newsies, I don't like. Newsies is a terrible musical. It's a great movie, terrible musical.
This is honestly the biggest thing. Oh, drink. I only know this from like Lindsay Ellis's video.
Yeah, rest in peace, Howard Ashman. He was a great guy. Unfortunately, he wrote a really good song called "Proud of Your Boy" for Aladdin. That's like the centerpiece song for that one, and that's been lifted by a very, very racist group called the Proud Boys. But anyways, it's annoying.
Ugh.
Anyways, so by adapt musicals, I mean musicals that are adapted from other media. Now, for example, I love Little Shop of Horrors, which, by the way, if you don't know, that's based on the movie. But I have mixed feelings of a lot of these, because these aren't as bad as jukebox musicals, but these are definitely mostly sometimes cash grabs.
Yeah. Well, like it's already a pre-established thing. So
exactly.
It's like, you know.
And I used to love Heather's the musical when it came out, but fucking TikTok has ruined it for me. Because TikTok apparently just heard about this old ass musical like last week. Well, older than that, and they've been like playing it to death. But also like Legally Blonde, Reanimator. I like Reanimator. The Evil Dead musical I don't like.
What they have?
It's funny because I love the Evil Dead.
Fine.
But I'm not a huge fan of them.
Like it just sounds like it'd be fun. I don't know.
These are hit and miss. That's basically what I'm trying to say. These are hit and miss to me, at least. These are all my opinions. And also, these are also the quote unquote normie musicals, because you might not go watch Jesus Christ Superstar or You're in Town, but you'll probably watch Legally Blonde if you like the movie, you know, and you'll probably watch Heathers because the internet's talking about it. Musical parodies. Now, these come in two varieties. There's true parodies. These are my own terms. The true parodies that have original music. But there's also the jukebox kind, where basically either just using the songs or changing the lyrics, but it'll just be like popular songs, but they're doing it funny. And it's now, this is the one time I will admit, my favorite theater of all time was this dinner musical theater called the Rockwell. I've been there like 30 times. Fucking Jeff Goldblum used to play piano there, used to play piano there on Wednesdays, and they ended up burning the spot once he became like the Jurassic World came out and he became popular again. And I hated it because now you had to now you couldn't get in there. Unfortunately, it closed during the pandemic. Rest in peace, the Rockwell. But they mainly did, Rockwell. Yeah, they mainly did musical parodies of the jukebox variety. Anyways, but I will admit these are usually very accessible. Like they're cheap or free. Like a lot of the ones online, like there's like a Harry Potter musical that's free, like a parody one, and there's even an Oregon Trail musical that became like trendy because there's this meme that comes from it, like I don't want to go to work today or whatever that song is, and that became a meme that I still keep seeing people share, but they don't know it's from an Oregon Trail musical. But yeah,
I mean that is a cool thing to make a thing out of, though.
Star Kid did they did one for the trail. They also did a Aladdin parody called Twisted, I think. Where it's basically Wicked, but the Aladdin version, because it's Aladdin from Jafar's point of view, where he's like misunderstood. But yeah. Anyway, so now move on to my top 3 favorite musical songs. Now my first one is Smooth Rider. I already mentioned many times that I prefer Grease 2 over Grease 1. I don't know why it's hated. I think most people haven't seen it. Also, Grease is always controversial because it has that one line about like, you know...
We're talking about the entire thing's toxic. We know that though.
No,
but like back then, that was like normal.
But mind you, Grease 2 definitely has some questionable moments too. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, stands up perfect, but it's far less. Like they haven't had to go back and rechange lines and shit like that. But yeah, originally I was gonna have a much smaller list of this is my favorite solo song, this is my favorite duet, this is my favorite ensemble piece, but didn't do that. But this technically is my favorite solo song.
That makes sense though. Yeah.
And also, if you listen to the track is very rocking in itself. And it's also sung by Michelle Pfeiffer, who was Catwoman in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that movie all the way through.
I love that movie.
Oh no, we only get like two frames per second. Okay, we're good now.
Yeah. A flip book.
I played the wrong part. Damn it! It doesn't matter. I'm gonna stop it soon anyway. I'm gonna cut to it real fast.
No, cut to it.
Okay, here it goes. My favorite part is this. Because this looks so dangerous. OSHA would not allow this.
Oh, you mentioned this before, yeah.
This part.
Yep.
When she comes down.
I've been on a ladder. Just
look at
even
this.
Standing on it's fucking
Look at this.
terrifying.
Look at this.
Oh.
Did you see that? How did she not break her neck?
That's good. They must have fucking like
blew. This got two people holding the other leg, the other side.
Oh, by the way,
they must have glued it down. Like, there's no fucking way.
This is all about musicals, and I'm already like, this is towards the end though, by the way. But this is all about musicals. It's about jukebox, things I didn't like, and my favorite musicals. Now it's my favorite songs. So, my number 2 favorite song is "Part of Your World." Everyone knows this one. I don't think I need to talk too much about it.
What's this
song? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know this song. What's the song is this?
Wait, is this a movie or is this like a thing where it's like got made into something?
Well, it's both. This is my favorite Disney musical. It's like I already said earlier. It's Ellen Menken and Howard Ashman, who I think were hot off the heels of Little Shop of Horrors. And honestly, this has mad nostalgia for me because I specifically have memories of this being like one of our, if not the first, one of the first VHS tapes like my family ever owned. And like my mom bought it and we watched the fuck out of that tape. And yeah. And I was like really young. I was probably like 5 or something. Peeing in the corner apparently, but yeah, being in the corner and watching this. But yeah, and Part of Your World, I sing this all the fucking time when it comes on like in musicals. I have no right to sing it. I cannot sing it, but I still fucking do it. See, who cares? Now I'm not a huge fan of the music of all the songs, but this song's amazing. Some of the other songs are amazing too. I don't know why Under the Sea gets all like I guess it's the ensemble piece, but this is the best. Under the Sea.
Yeah, Part of Your World, technically, even in the movie, this song's hella better than Under the Sea. Under the Sea.
But oddly enough, I think because of the popularity of the brand, I've seen this musical more than any other. I've seen it, like I said, 5 to 6, but I actually counted last night more properly.
Or like because other people, like your homies or your girlfriends?
No, I'll go to almost any musical I can because I like to see them, but see theater in general. But I think this is such an they know people will go to this, so a lot of theaters will do this one. So I've seen it actually, I think like 8 to 10 times.
Yeah.
Fathoms Below I don't like. That's the song that it opens with. That's like the sailing song that Eric is singing with his like ship buddies. But anyways, here's Part of Your World. This is from the OBC cast. It's like the ABC News thing. I like this one because she's like on Heelys pretending she's swimming. You'll see.
That's cool. Also drink.
Oh, put this down. I'll take a shot in a minute. Wesley. I called him Leslie.
Westington?
Yes. That delivery's so weird.
Feet.
Molly is Ariel, apparently.
Yeah, redhead.
Sure.
And
Yep,
see,
I'm
look,
down with
There
it.
you go.
Watch
Just
her.
everything.
She's like on Heelys.
That's so cool. I love that.
Oh, that's pretty tight. Oh,
Audience, take it under
she
the
has
sea. She has
her
abs.
legs and tail. Her
See, there
legs
goes.
and
There
tail.
goes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I just wanted
It's
to see the
kinda-
Heelys. Sorry, I'm just obsessed.
Can you
with the
imagine
Heelys.
having to practice that? You're like,
Imagine if she
fuck, man.
fell.
I was like, you guys really gonna make me do this? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay.
Now, without a doubt, my favorite musical song of all time. It's kind of an unknown one because I don't talk about this one as often as like something from Avenue Q or Part of Your World, but it's Suddenly Seymour. Now, this is also a Howard Ashman Alan Menken musical. This is one of my favorites. The musical is way different than the movie, but the movie's good too. I'm not shitting on the movie. Now, Ellen Green, she plays the character. Fuck, what's her name?
Drake.
Audrey, because that's the name of the plant. But she played. I need to pour more. She plays Audrey in both the original cast and the movie. She fucking kills the song. Great. I mean, like kills it in a good way. Also, I like singing this song with like people who know it because in the original cast, the dude can sing really well, and no shade to Rick Moranis that he can't sing, but like if you watch the movie, he's not like a professional singer, so he does a lot more of a low key version of it. So I feel like I could do that. So yeah, we're not gonna watch that Rick Moranis one though.
What?
He's great though. But hold on, I need to pour another drink before I keep going. But yeah, that's my favorite duet song, by the way, if we're still doing that weird little side list. But anyways, I will say that if you watch this in the musical, my only issue with it is that the musical never really picks up again after this song. Like, but then again, it's based on a movie, so I guess I can't really fault the plot that it had to follow. But
Yes,
TLDR,
stories
sing
are
it with
just
me.
like they like when you adapt them, it's kind of like a drink.
Oh,
Like the
well-
medium really does speak.
Well,
Fucking
Molly
volumes.
pointed out. Yes, Little Shop of Horrors, the movie has a different ending, but there's a lot of songs missing from the movie, like Mushnik and Son, which is also one of my favorites. The Dentist has another song when he's getting killed. It's called like The Gas, where he's all like, it's something. I like that song too. There's a lot of songs they cut out. All the great hits are in the movie, but a bunch of little ones are cut out. But this is Suddenly Seymour. This is with the original cast, and it's on like some telethon for MDA, which I think is an illness, so they were like raising money. I mean,
MDMA? No, that's good.
MDA.
Whoa, that's not as fun.
Hold on, not the plan.
It's the piranha plant.
Piranha.
Drink.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks a little uncomfortable though, like the way he's acting, but you'll see.
Does he get all weird?
No, just the look on his face, I think, just like looks weird. But he's the original Seymour.
Oh,
See, he looks a little creepy there. I don't know.
yeah, he does.
Only slightly.
But listen to her sing. Wait.
I need a man and I follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers, me, I say sure.
Drink.
And that's not even, this is not even the end part yet. Like, that's the refrain almost, so yeah. Love this song. The musical itself is a bit questionable because like the whole thing why they're singing right now, because she has this very abusive boyfriend and he's basically like gonna rescue her from that, and he rescues her by killing the boyfriend. So yeah,
drink.
You win some, you lose some.
But anyways, in the song "Feed Me Seymour." What's this song? So I'm reading some of Molly's thing about like the trivia from the movie. All I know is I keep seeing like a big, enormous 12-inch screen. What? And that sounded like it was going somewhere else. Anyway, fun fact: I've seen a lot of versions of this, and for some reason, and I know it makes sense because the plant's named Audrey too. He names the plant after her. That it's a girl's name, but I think every version I've ever seen in theaters has a girl singing Audrey, which is fine, but it just strikes me as odd. It's usually a guy. I think that's the dude from like the Four Tops or something like that, singing him in the original cast.
Yeah.
But anyways, some musicals I love, but not sure where to place. We'll speed run these a bit. Toxic Avenger the musical.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Hell yeah, Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger the musical. Now,
I love that this title, like this just term, is just begin like resurfacing.
Now it's funny because like the music's done by the keyboardist from Bon Jovi, Brian something ever his last name.
So weird. Drake.
So the music's good, the plot's good, but they should have called this Toxic Crusader the musical, because if you don't know, Toxic Crusaders was the cartoon version of Toxic Avenger, because this is not the violent version. And I'm also not a huge fan of horror movie adaptation musicals. Most of them aren't that good. And a lot of them are cursed. Like this one had a lot of fake false starts. There were a lot of other versions of it before it got made. But there is a film version of this musical on Broadway HD if you have that streaming service. Yes, there is a Broadway streaming service. And I almost saw this musical live. If I ever told you the story where I was stranded in East Hollywood and almost died, technically we were supposed to go, me and the person who left me stranded there, we were supposed to go see this musical afterwards. But anyways. Phantom of the Opera.
That time.
Yeah. I love Phantom of the Opera. I also feel it's overrated though. Also,
Drink.
I fucking love some of these songs. Like
I think that is like the musical that I've heard. Like big musical that's like really affirmative. It's like if there's like one thing that you have to show to aliens and be like, this is, the thing. This is the thing.
I love Phantom of the Opera, the song. I love Think of Me. I love All I Ask of You. I fucking love those three songs. But I'm not a huge fan of most of the other songs. Fun fact: I don't think it's a very good musical. I love those songs. This is among my favorite ones. I Think of Me is definitely my top 10. Also, the musicals. Sorry, the musical is an adaptation of an old novel, and this is the weirdest adaptation also because there's some plot points that seem confusing. The whole holding your hand up to save yourself in the lasso, but the lasso is not in the movie. I mean, in the musical, except like in that one reference, so you don't know what that is. Anyway, you have to see it to know what I'm talking about, but it's very wonky. Molly still needs to sing "Think of Me," and yeah. I don't know if she's talking about that in the chat, but she needs to sing "Think of Me." Also, if you want to alternate take on the story, there's a musical called Phantom, which is like I think it's like just an alternate take on the story. Some of the songs I like there better.
Phantom. How long ago? Like when did it come out by comparison to the original?
Phantom of the Opera is like from '86, and Phantom I think it's from like '88. It definitely was. People like to say it was riding on the coattails, but I think they were both in pre-production at the same time. Phantom of the Paradise actually predates both of them earlier on in the 80s, and that's the 80s musical starring Jessica Harper, I believe is her name, who's also in the sequel to Rocky Horror called Shock Treatment. But Phantom of the Paradise is great, and also there's a Phantom of the Auditorium musical. Yes, a Goosebumps musical exists.
Honestly, I'd be disappointed if there wasn't. That seems like such an easy layup,
So yeah, if you want to hear other takes.
Drink
also, I was in a high school production of Joseph. I love this musical. I could also sing this one from start to finish right now. This lives in my head rent free. I even know the color order, but it was cool. Red, yellow, green, brown, scarlet, black, ochre, peach, ruby, olive, violet, mauve, lilac, gold. Wait, I fucked up. Damn it! I did it too fast.
Is that technically Roy G. Biv?
It's way more than those. But
yeah, but did it follow that and then they just put in extra stuff in between?
Oh, it does, doesn't it? I don't think I ever noticed that.
You were saying the order, and I was like, yeah, Roy G. Biv, and then you put in a whole bunch of other numbers. I'm like, oh wait, or colors. I'm like, oh wait.
I will say that this is it's very kiddie musical, so I feel weird listening to it now. Like it's done by this is actually the first Tim Rice Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. Tim Rice doesn't work with Lloyd Webber anymore, but Lloyd Webber, of course, is the guy who did Cats. He did Phantom of the Opera. He did, and this pair did Jesus Christ Superstar and Evita. So this was their first one, but I don't really like it. Also, it's a very short musical. It's about an hour long, but like every production stretches it. They keep stretching it to make it like a 2-act musical, but it isn't.
I mean, that makes sense just because it's like people probably said that, and like
Molly should have did the song before. Some final bits in my conclusion. Rapid fire musicals I like. Jekyll and Hyde. I've been listening to this one a lot recently because Molly mentioned it we weren't live, but she mentioned it last week. We were just talking afterwards. Like all of us on TTL, we're talking afterwards. And I've listened to it again. It's a great musical. There's some really good songs on it. My one gripe, I've said this before, is that this musical has like 4 albums, and all of them are different because the musical's gone through so many changes. Hamilton. Now, I love some of the songs from the musical, but I definitely feel this is super overrated.
Your thing didn't change. Oh,
okay.
Oh, rapid fire. I thought he was in
okay.
The Book of Mormon. Jekyll Hyde, and I was like, wait, what's
yeah.
Book of Mormon?
Well,
okay. It's okay.
The Book of Mormon, it's fun, but I have some issues with it. Like a lot of Book of Mormon is the one that's done by the people from Avenue Q and Trey Parker and Matt Stone from like South Park. Fun fact, not only did they do the South Park, but their very first movie was Cannibal the Musical. So they were doing musicals even before South Park.
Yeah, that's actually where the like from what I've heard, like why they put a lot of musical numbers and all their stuff is because like that's like really what they are like at their core.
Also Camelot, I fucking love like every song from Camelot. The music is amazing. The book is terrible. Now, if you wonder what I mean by book, if you don't know, book is like the spoken parts of a musical, like the you know the
what
acting.
Is the point?
It's terrible.
Like, what's the point? What's the fucking point? It's like it's a musical. Like, for the
just come in,
music.
Just sing all the great songs, but fucking don't act. The story's terrible.
I don't like for what purpose.
Shock Treatment, very underrated Rocky Horror sequel, Rocky Horror Show. I've seen I love Rocky Horror.
You did say that.
I've seen Rocky Horror, but I feel like I've outgrown this musical. It was something I liked when I was younger, and I feel like a lot younger people would like this one, especially if you watch it for the first time when you're young.
Yeah.
Rock of Ages. Now, this is the only jukebox musical I kind of like because it's like a bunch of classic rock, and I think David Coverdale does the intro for the cast album. David Coverdale from Whitesnake. And if you watch the movie, there's a lot of like classic rock cameos. Oh, and Roger and Hammerstein's version of Cinderella. That's the one that, like I said, it's funny because it's also Disney, but it's different than the Disney Cinderella.
I mean, at this point, if you just threw like a dart at a bunch of IPs, chances are it's Disney.
So here's some rapid fire musicals I don't like. I don't like Repo the Genetic Opera. It has a very questionable creator. Look up the guy who made Repo. He's like an internet edgelord who's also like I don't want to throw accusations out there, but let's just say he likes to pander to his younger female fans when he goes to conventions because he's the guy who like wrote Repo. Because like all the little like the young emo girls like the musical. I'll let you throw your own thoughts from there.
Okay.
But there's a lot of videos about him. He's very creepy, but it's also a musical I've outgrown. Like I think this is another musical that people like. If you're young and emo, you might like Repo.
Oh, about like growing?
Yeah, I mean you won't. Somebody my age watching Repo for the first time probably be like, "What's the big point?" You know, like I don't like this one. Love Never Dies. This is an obvious crash grab. It's a sequel to Phantom of the Opera. It's terrible.
But
Grease, I don't like Grease. That's it.
Drink.
Oh, it says cat.
It says cat. It's just a cat. I hate cats. Fucking cats, man.
The musical is called Cats, not Cat. I hate cat. Fuck cat. Cat. By the way, we had cat on TTL, but anyways.
Oh my god.
No, I mean Cats. The musical is a hot mess. There's a couple good songs in there, but the musical's not great.
Please explain to me, fucking, how was this an idea? How is this an idea that people went through with and like, it was just like, oh, we'll do this?
What about Spamalot? I love Spamalot. I didn't mention that here, but I actually like Spamalot. Spamalot's the Monty Python like ish esque music. I think it is like with some of the Python members, but yeah. Bloody Andrew Jackson. This was trying to write Hamilton's Coast. Yes, it's exactly.
Yo! Oh my god! Oh, Drink. I need to know the story of this shit. Oh god.
First of
there's so much fuckery in there.
If you know the Andrew Jackson story, like if you would have played it serious, but they kind of played it like for laughs, so it comes off very questionable.
Psycho.
And it just
the piece of shit.
And also the music's not that good overall. So don't even look this up. Don't put that in your search history. But yeah. Just trust it's not good.
This fool literally like jumped out and fucking like assaulted people. I think he like almost got I don't know. I think I'm mixing like that thought with like other people, but like, oh my god.
Also, I actually do like Into the Woods and Les Miserables, but I don't like the movie versions. I actually hate the movie version of Into the Woods. They cut out a lot of stuff, and like there's no giant werewolf penis in that one. And Les Miserables, the movie version that very famously used live vocals, like they recorded the vocals like on set, and there's some really weird performances because of that.
Weird performances? Drink.
So yeah, go see live theater. That's me from The Evil Dead the musical.
Weird how? Wait, what?
Like as in like
did you not like this one?
I don't. But I got covered in blood. I put my jacket back on, and I wore the shirt obviously, so the blood would get on that. But you can't tell because the color. This room was dark, and I had to color correct this ages ago. But like that shirt's covered in blood.
It'd be like that.
What is this?
Sometimes you just got blood everywhere. It'd be like that.
I got covered in blood once.
Put a giant werewolf penis in your movie. Yeah, I want a giant werewolf penis. Anyways,
I swear to God, I heard that something. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about dick wolves.
If you anyway, if you do anything after this this DTL besides Molly recording Think of Me, go see live theater. It's fun. It's a cool experience. Even if you don't really like musicals, it's just a fun thing to do at least once. I feel. I could do a whole presentation on how to like look for musicals. Honestly, the best way to do is eventually go to some, and then like if you like this company, if you like this theater, just follow them, and then that's it. If you find it too pricey, there's an app, and I think it's a site too, but there's an app called Gold Star which sells discounted tickets. You can also sometimes get comp tickets, but usually it's just discounted. Also,
like a subservice kind of.
Yeah. No. It's a free app, but like they'll just post cheap tickets to fill seats. There's a thing called rush tickets, and that's when you go to a theater right before the performance begins, or you join a wait list, and you're like, hey, your performance starts in 30 minutes. Do you have any tickets left? And they'll sell them at a cheaper rate just to fill the seats. Not all theaters do that. You might want to call ahead to see if they do rush tickets. It's kind of a weird thing to do because it kind of implies you don't want to pay full price for it, but it is a thing they do, and the service that a lot of theaters offer. So look into that. Because tickets can be expensive.
If you, I don't know, Drink. Tell me this. Like, if you were in a production, if you've done these before, you would. I'm guessing, like, rather there be like full as many people in the seats as possible, just because, like, I imagine you get like feedback from the crowd, right? Like that's kind of part of the whole thing.
Exactly. And also, yes, like Molly said, rush tickets are like standby for flights.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Like, if maybe you weren't thinking about it before, but like you have time open, it's like, oh well, why not?
Yeah, and this is by no means comprehensive list of musicals I like and things I like, and also tips I have for going to theater. So hit me up if you really want to know more, because I'll always talk about this shit. This is me seeing Reanimator the musical, and I got it signed by Stuart Gordon. He's the guy who directed Reanimator the movie and Reanimator the musical. Rest in peace, Stuart Gordon. By the way, he passed away during the pandemic. But yeah, he signed it for me. 2 Manuel, More Blood, Stuart Gordon. Anyway,
nice. Also, you didn't mention Rent, I don't think. Did you?
Oh. No, I didn't. It's funny because that was gonna be on my musicals I like, but like was my rapid fire that I like. I like Rent. My plus and minus is that some amazing songs. I also think the movie version is not that great.
Yeah, it seems like it's pretty much like I don't know. It seems like one of those polarizing ones, but like also like definitely a very popular one, at least from what I've heard.
Actors are sometimes paid by how many people are in the audience, so yes, they care. Also,
that do make sense.
also kind of like the way musicians are pay for play. Like I don't know if Molly has
that
more
is
insight
not
on this.
the connotation I recognize from that term. This is interesting. Go ahead.
Pay for play for musicians. That's basically like you pay to get a slot, then hopefully get that money back in tickets. But it's a similar thing. Like
It's like
I
when
know
you
some
pay for Twitter followers.
Yeah, I know some musical companies, like theater companies, I should say, like the actors have to like sell tickets themselves too, and if they don't, they might have to be responsible for those tickets, like price wise. So like, there's almost like this incentive, like every so often, like the way you see like bands. Sometimes, like, if you like some of the multi-band shows, they'll be like the band will be in the comments like, "Hey, if you want cheap tickets, come contact the this band." Sometimes you see actors do that for musicals as well.
I mean, yeah, it's like almost like a commission type of thing.
Molly's like, yeah, they do it a lot.
Yikes.
Oh, Molly was in Rent? When were you in Rent?
A word?
I mean, like, she was in the production of Rent. I don't think we ever talked about that. And if we have, I forgot. Sorry. But anyways, I'm a little tipsy already. This is a little all over the place, but I wanted to do at least one musical DTL before we wrap up all DTLs. So yeah, this is that. I'm more open to talk to more musicals, so hit me up, whatever. Maybe we can go to one. Fun fact, I already told the story, but I invited Molly to go see Peter Pan with me one time, but she couldn't. And like I invited someone else, and then like the Tinkerbell projectile vomited during that musical. So it's a good thing Molly didn't go. But yeah. But the Tinkerbell was flying, and that's actually how the vomit got everywhere. But anyways,
Jesus Christ, make that as worse.
Just made a line of barf going down, flying down.
It was like a crazy stream that like arc, like a perfect arc that went in. It was actually pretty awesome.
It's like
in
the movies where like it's fake.
Because
it's like they do it from the side profile, and it's like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about school versions because I went to go see Avenue Q at a high school, and there is an Avenue Q school version that like makes it like PG-13 basically, as opposed to like rated R. But yeah,
what's the point? What's the actual point at that point?
But this presentation is too long, so I didn't talk about school versions. But there are school versions of a lot of musicals.
What is the point? That's
yeah.
so dumb.
Anyway, there's a few more details to go, so thank you for watching and everything. Peace out. Thank you. Too bad Molly wasn't on for this one. I mean, she's in the chat, and I've been reading her comments. But yeah. How do I stop?
We did it. We got there.
Don't be me. I turned it off last time.
Turn what off last time? Oh, the thing.
I almost hit it too. The thing says leave studio.
I was wondering
what
that was.
Wait, how do I leave? I really don't. I don't want to leave.
I know. Just like click stop sharing is what it is.
Stop sharing.
Oh, there
I'm gonna use the bathroom. That was fun.
Okay.
Go for it.
Thank you, man.
Fun fact, I'm wearing a ring on that, and you can't see it anymore. I still have it up on my screen. But when I was holding the Reanimator pamphlet, not pamphlet, what do you call those programs?
Yeah.
There's a ring on my finger. I found that ring at a concert one time, and I love that ring. It was it's real gold, like thick ass piece of real gold. I'm like, one day I'll sell this, and like, and then I lost it at another show.
Meanwhile, just throwing away valuable fucking like just things. Oh god. Angry.
But yeah, there's a lot of good. There's a musical called Spring Awakening. I kind of like. I have like. I like that one too. It's a weird story. It's hard to explain. School of Rock has a musical that's pretty good. That's another Andrew Lloyd Webber one based on the movie.
That makes sense.
What else is some good musicals? There's a really good version of Romeo and Juliet. It's a French version, but I think there is an official English version. I don't know, but that it's very modern. It's very like a rock musical. It's really good.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But what's that one musical that Lindsay Ellis did the whole video on? The one about
all of them.
Dude?
She's done videos on all of them. Literally all of them.
No, but like it was a movie that just came out. The one about that dude who a friend. Trigger warning, by the way. A friend of his like dies by his own hand. We'll say I won't use the word, and not a friend of his, but somebody, and he basically pretends that he knew that kid to like. What the fuck is that musical called? Dear something. Because it's like a letter he wrote. Dear Evan something. Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh!
Aaron Hansen is the fucking guy from King Crimson.
Wait! Didn't they adapt this into a movie recently with a really old guy?
Yes.
Or is that a different thing?
Yeah, it is that one where the dude was like too old to be playing a teenager still.
Yeah.
I don't like that musical. I never really did. and that was like the It musical for like about 5 years ago. I used to not like the SpongeBob musical when it came out, but it has really grown on me.
I've heard similar things, strangely enough.
The SpongeBob musical is not a jukebox musical, but it basically has like 15 or so songs, and every song is written by someone different. Like I think Cyndi Lauper wrote a song.
Like shows from or any of the songs like from the actual like show or anything?
No,
or?
It's an original story and everything.
Okay, then.
It's not an adaptation of anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that does make sense.
I do like the Squidward because the Squidward has like I think they're also on Heelys in that show, by the way. But Squidward has the Squidward basically has a bunch of like fake legs kind of attached to like his legs that he has like he can control with his arm, so he can is the squid. So yeah. Oh, Shrek the Musical! I love Shrek the Musical. I've actually went to go see Shrek the Musical. I should have wore it. I have ears from Shrek the Musical because I wanted to go see it. The theater I went to was selling ears.
Ears? Those count as ears?
Well, the theater made them like the theater made it so that they could just sell things, probably to make more money.
Yeah.
Like, but
I mean that's probably like how they were able to like to do more shows. Unironically,
yeah, because like I'm pretty sure it costs a lot of money to book Shrek. I also took a picture with the cast, like the Shrek and Fiona, and I think the donkey. But I don't know where that picture is. I was actually looking for that one to like just throw in there. Ooh, that was a weird burp. It was like in my throat. Yeah. Sorry if you heard that.
Oh, you're good.
It was like a growl. It was like a burp. Shrek the Musical. I think I know for a fact there's a film version of that. Not film, but like a movie, but like a filmed version that I think you could watch pretty easily online. You should go watch that if you've never seen Shrek the Musical.
Is it like on their own website or like how?
I think it's on YouTube, but I think it's like legally on YouTube, like not like not like a rando.
Like if it gets more than like 1,000 views, it's gonna trip the YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, my mic's about to break. I've been saying this on the other streams, but my mic stand is like on his last legs.
What are you using? Wait, what kind of fucking stand are you? Wait, are you talking about?
It's a scissor arm, but like it's.
I was gonna say, like, mine clamps into the goddamn thing. Like what?
I mean, mine does too, but mine's like 8 years old, so it's finally like breaking.
They made those 8 years ago, huh? Figure.
What is this? You've seen Lion King, Wicked, Avenue Q, Cinderella, Spamalot, Rent, Little Shop of Horrors, Rocky Horror, Cats, Les Mis. It's funny because most of what Molly said, I have not seen. I have not seen a version of Spamalot. I have not seen Les Mis. I have not seen Cats. I've seen everything else you said though.
I'm surprised you've never seen Cats just to say that you like saw it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like Cats is one of those ones that had a film version released back when the musical was new, and then, of course, there's the infamous movie that came out a couple years ago.
There is a version of that where they actually have. Well, okay, you know what? I can't. Purportedly, there is a version, an original version, where they had CGI buttholes on all the cats.
And they put out a patch to like get rid of him. Basically,
we need to release the butthole cut. Is what I'm saying. We need this. Like, come on. I would actually watch that. And that I feel like already what they must have been. They knew it was going to be a big turd, right? Like, they had to.
Honestly, like I'm not the first one who said this. This is not like a unique take, but Cats has some good individual songs. It has no plot, and by its very nature, it's not supposed to have a plot. But like, it's literally like a bunch of string.
That's not very Jellicle of you to say.
Like Jellicle Cat from Jellicle. How does the song go?
I don't even know.
I don't really know either. Memory, all alone in the moon, something like that. I don't know how that song goes.
That sounds like the one song that Anne Hathaway has in Les Mis.
Oh, I'm not. That scene, I don't want to talk shit about that scene, but I actually don't like that song because her performance is so weird because it's like a live take. I don't like that song. I love the song, but I don't like that version.
Hold up, where is this?
Oh yeah, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Ayo!
What's that? Oh, it's Molly.
Is the Molly?
I'm Molly.
We got
It's
a
a Molly.
Molly.
It's a Molly. How do I move? Oh my god! Hold on.
All right. Everybody cross. Manuel spilling some shit on his keyboard off the bingo board.
I spilled the tree. I was doing
This
so
one,
good.
this one.
It wouldn't be a detail without it. Also, Molly, I didn't know if like you got your mic on. We can't hear you if you're saying anything.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to find something, but I don't know where I put it.
Just use a shirt or a sock.
No, I use a towel.
Probably like one that's not crusty.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yay! We got you, homegirl. Hell yeah.
Just real quick, because Manuel didn't read them for everyone that is not in the chat. I've also seen 1776, which is about the writing of the Declaration of Independence, but it's like better than it sounds like it would be. And then I've seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which I think might be a jukebox. Is a jukebox musical?
It's a jukebox musical, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very different from what I was expecting. It's great. It's about drag queens. And then I've seen Billy Elliot, but I was really sick. And I saw it. I was on the West End. I was in Britain, or I was in the UK.
Look at Molly.
Whoa.
And I fell asleep, and I woke up. Have you seen that one, Manuel? Billy Elliot?
I've seen it, yeah.
So I woke up during the scene where there's the protest and all the like. So Billy Elliot is like dancing very like sporadically and almost like seizing. Like he's not, but he kind of looks like he's having a seizure. And then like all of the like chorus, they're all like they have like riot shields and it's really loud. And I woke up and I was like, what the hell is happening?
we're being
That's
invaded.
an alarm, if anything else.
That musical is interesting because they have to recast it so often because the kids get too old.
Oh, it's like one of those. I didn't mention that about Phantom. Phantom has like been constantly running, except for the pandemic, obviously. But it's been nonstop running since like it's open in both New York and in the West End.
But what I was gonna say is Cats. Cats, the movie that just came out. So what happened is
I want to watch that. The one
they gave all of the actors
shits and
the
giggles.
option of using like a click track, or they could just like hear like nothing. I don't even know exactly what it was, but that's why like the rhythm of all the songs is off because they and there were times where there's a thing you can do in singing where you kind of like go against the rhythm, but then you catch up later. But they didn't record the actual instrumentals until after they recorded it to how the people sang. So sometimes people were trying to do that, but then when they recorded it, it's just weird. The only songs that like rhythmically work are the ones that were done by the dancers. Because they're like the most based on rhythm. But that was like a big issue with a lot of the songs is like, yes, you want to act the song, but you have to act the song within the rhythm that you're given. Like that's part of musical theater. You can't change it as much as, and that was an issue I think with a lot of the movie versions of musicals when you don't actually have like musical theater actors doing it. And I'm not saying that if you haven't done musical theater that you can't do a musical well. Like, but I think it's just like you should at least have someone that's there to kind of guide them. Like, this is how musical theater is done. And this is why it's successful, is because your like, even if you don't know music, you will feel weird if like the song isn't right.
The medium is different. Like the delivery is different. Like that's why it's like, anytime I've heard people like get down and like talking about like the actual like story form of a musical, it's what you call it? It's likened a lot to kind of like how old epics like the Odyssey and junk, where it's like there will be asides where like a character's like talking directly to the audience, that kind of thing. And I mean those were like form, so I
guess there are definitely songs where that happens, but what I've always been told with musicals is it's just like it's a play, but the reason that you're singing is because you're so emotionally charged, you have no possible way to express your emotions besides sing.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like you have to sing. Like you cannot do anything else. So they're in that way they can definitely be, I guess, kind of like seem melodramatic, but a lot of them do have good plots. A lot of them don't.
I've never
Cats has a plot. It's not.
It's a weak plot,
but it has a plot. Like
Wait,
what the
how
fuck
bad
is the
it?
plot?
Is it like
Explain
Last
the plot
Christmas
to
bad?
me.
Okay, the plot of Cats is that they're all deciding who's going to become the cat to like move on to the next realm. So basically, die.
Yeah, like die.
And the
Oh, yeah, I
entire
forgot.
the entire show is just the cats showing who they are, and then like the last 15 minutes is when the plot actually happens.
So this is what I mean. I don't understand why any of that happened. Why do they want to die?
I don't know. This is okay. Andrew Lloyd
Transcend.
I know
Webber,
why I want to die.
It's also
They
based on
look
the
like
book.
they're happy.
Andrew Lloyd Webber is a phenomenal music writer. The stories in a lot of his musicals are not necessarily the best.
Yeah,
But
and
the
to be
music
fair,
he
to his
writes is
credit,
amazing.
yeah, to be fair, to his credit, he never writes the books. So
Well, whoever
um,
writes them for him.
yeah, to be fair, he never writes the books. So like that's always someone else's gripe. If you, I will give him that. That he writes amazing music, and that's typically all he does on the production. Which is a lot. But so when they suck, it's usually not technically his fault.
I mean, sometimes that's kind of like how like sometimes you'll have a movie, right, and the actors in it may be good, there may be like good points and everything, but then it's like, okay, so what did the director do though? And then it's like you just fucked everything up because it's like it doesn't matter how good the acting is if the direction's not good, it all just shits the bed.
I remember I was gonna see Carrie the musical, which is like very famously like the worst musical of all time, like from like the 80s, and they did a revival of all times, like about 5-6 years ago. The movie Carrie, yeah, like no Carrie, Stephen King. So they did a revival about 5 or 6 years ago. It's this huge deal. Like they're bringing back Carrie, and now it's gonna be good. And I was gonna go see it, and I couldn't see it, and I put it on Facebook, like, hey, anyone want tickets? And I remember like it was Molly's friend Zach who replied, who, if you ever heard my stories, it's the guy who I room with like at Fatima a lot. So but at the time I didn't really know him, and I was like, I don't want to give him these tickets. I don't know him, and they were free, mind you. So rather than give them to him, I just never gave them to anyone. I mean, I've never told anyone that.
Wow, yeah. That sounds like a Manuel thing.
It does. Like every time, like Manuel's like, "Hey, I have a bunch of expensive ass like merch things and whatever the fuck. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw them in a dumpster."
It was like the revival of the century, and I was like, nah.
So Cats is based on a 1939 poetry collection by T.S. Eliot.
T.S. Eliot, yeah.
Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It is the 6th longest running West End production and the 4th longest Broadway production, and it started the mega musical phenomenon. It's like what established the global market for musical theater.
Okay, that makes sense.
And also like more like family friendly shows, because it is very family friendly. There's nothing except for
buttholes.
Except for
the cats all look really horny.
I mean, it was only really Rum Tub Tugger.
They always look, even the old version is like, if I knew what furries were when I was a kid, I would have been like, those look like furries.
I feel like that might have been a lot of furries.
But it really is like amazing how like the actors, like if you watch their movements, like they really do move cat-like. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, I did talk about Joe Hill. Oh my god, I almost fell out my chair.
Actually, Josh's brother was in Cats in high school, and he was Rum Tum Tugger.
Oh,
a horny cat. It wasn't Josh. It was Josh's brother.
Brother.
He's like the rock cat.
How was the direction in there? Like, did they actually say, "Hey, when you're doing this, can you read this line out, but like more horny"?
More horny.
No, I mean it's just like he's like the
horny.
like kind of like sexy like rock cat. Like he's like a rock star kind of. Yeah. Now there is a song in Into the Woods called "Hello Little Girl." I don't actually know if it's
God!
I don't know if it's in the school version, but it's sung by the wolf to Little Red Riding Hood.
Of course.
But it's definitely has some connotations in I mean it's not portrayed as like that being a good thing, I will say. Like,
well, look up Into the Woods like werewolf penis. I know that's a weird thing to have in church history, but look it up and you'll see what I'm talking about.
She's trying to
he does wear a codpiece. He does wear a codpiece.
Yeah, Molly's right. I keep saying werewolf. He's not human. He's a wolf. So Molly is correct. I'm just stupid. I don't know why I keep saying. I have an obsession with werewolves. No, not their penises, but I have an obsession with werewolves.
Sure.
I should do a
like
how do you feel about
motherfuckers? Just like, wait, what? Huh?
But Manuel, if you ever have a musical to go to, I would be down so long as there's no projectile vomiting. I mean, I guess we can't know that for sure, but
I know.
Listen, you just
it
Google
doesn't usually
before.
happen. It
I know,
doesn't usually
always...
happen. Well, there was an Exorcist the musical, wasn't there?
There is.
Oh,
There's
cool.
a King Kong the musical.
They need to make. There has been a musical version of Prince of Egypt, but they need to make like a Broadway-sized production of it. 'Cause that is such a the music in that music phenomenal.
Oh yeah. I was like Prince of Egypt. Oh yeah, the Moses one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Moses one.
The most. I like that movie. I haven't seen it like in literally like 20 years, but
It's my favorite
That was
soundtrack.
actually really good.
what's that one movie? There's that movie. I mean, the movie. There's that song I really like. The one about like when she's throwing him when she's putting him in the river. But,
Yeah, like it's called the River Song or like
Oh,
River
okay.
Lullaby, but it's like
Yeah.
hush now,
There
my
you go.
baby, be still now, don't cry.
Yes.
Yep.
That was
That's the song.
that was actually a really good movie, but like, it's
It's
like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's the reason I know the story of Moses. And like my family, obviously, half my family is Jewish, and so on Passover, I'll be like, "Oh, I actually know this story,"
Aww.
and my family was like, "Wow, we're so proud! You like actually know a religious story now." And I was like, "Yeah, it's from a movie musical."
That's like
Listen,
that's literally me.
That's honestly like how should. If you want to like people to be interested or like get into things that like are important to you, that's honestly the best way to do it.
I mean, that's what VeggieTales is.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Veggie Tales.
I'm gonna
I
go
just
pick,
like the silly songs with Larry, which is not religious at all.
start getting ready for your presentation. Molly can still go on.
All right,
I'm
I
gonna
got
go.
you.
I'm gonna go grab a package because Amazon delivered something.
Uh-huh.
I gotta go grab it for like a fucking porch pirate gets it.
A what?
A porch pirate. Have you heard that term before?
You are just like full of questionable things.
Porch pirate is a real thing. That's just when people steal your packages from like out. Anyways, I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say, this is a surprising fact to not everyone, but a lot of people. For anyone that doesn't live in Los Angeles or like Southern California, live theater is not very popular here.
Really? Huh.
Like, I mean, there's like a couple theaters that are, and there's like the Pantages Theater that has the like Broadway shows and stuff. But in general, live theater. I mean, I'm from Minneapolis, which is like the third most populated theater city in the country. So
Okay.
I come from a place where theater was very, very popular.
That makes sense.
A lot of people, before they go to Broadway, they'll go to either Chicago or Minneapolis to like boost up their resume. Not everyone, but a lot of people.
Right. Kind of like
a lot of the shows on Broadway would
exposure thing.
preview in Minnesota. I think actually the first time I saw Lion King was the preview. It hadn't even been to Broadway yet.
Oh, neat. Okay. Just kind of like a proving ground, kind of.
A preview is like, I mean, it's like a preview. It's just a preview of it, making sure that everything works. It's kind of like dress rehearsals, I guess, with an audience.
A beta test or a beta run, kind of.
Yeah, but it's usually, I would say, well, I guess beta runs can be. Some of them are very, very developed already, and some of them aren't. But they're usually like they're full-fledged productions.
What?
I was talking about
beta runs, previews, yeah, that.
Previews of musicals, and how a lot of them happen in Minneapolis.
Oh, there's also, what do they call it? Are those just preview nights? I remember, like, I said this before. I get a lot of tickets through, like, I have a friend of mine who does like PR for a bunch of theaters, and she gives me a lot of like press tickets. So I go to a lot of the preview nights, which are pretty fun because usually like they're still working on shit. So,
well, the only previews that I think I've been to, it's possible that the first time I saw Lion King, it was actually a preview. But that's like Broadway level production. Like they were pretty ready.
One thing I told you, like, I didn't mention this when talking about the Rockwell. I went to go see the Stranger Things the musical parody, which is the jukebox parody musical. But the dude who played the cop, he was the original Broadway Shrek. And the dude and the girl who played Barbara, the one who like dies, the friend who dies, she was the original Broadway Trucy from Hairspray, which is another musical I like, by the way, Hairspray. But so like in this tiny little dinner theater thingy, it's like Shrek and they referenced it a lot.
I've seen Hairspray. I fucking love Hairspray.
Yeah.
How could I forget that?
Hairspray is a good one. It's funny because my niece is like obsessed with Hairspray right now, like the musical. So I actually, so I went to go visit my brother a couple weeks ago, and she was watching. I'm like, which one? The one with Nikki Blonsky? Yes.
I
Right?
think I have. It's the one with Zac Efron.
Yes,
I think
yes.
I have like a. Next time I go to Minnesota, I can bring like I have like a official book or something for that movie. I can see if I can find it. You can give it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's not like the script, but it's like I think it might have the lyrics to the music and like some other. I don't know. I saw that movie like 7 times in theaters, but I've also seen it live. The ones I was listing are the ones I've seen live. I've seen more just movie versions.
I remember, like, I don't think I have the DVD anymore. I think I sold that one just normally. But I remember, like, the way I got the DVD I used to own was like I used to live in this place with my then girlfriend, and one day we were taking out our trash, and we were like sharing trash with like these neighbors because like an apartment complex, and we opened up the trash bin, and there was all the trash. It was a Hairspray DVD. I guess our neighbor had thrown out. I was like, hell no! I rescued it. And
that's a movie, or that's a musical that I've always wondered. Like, we were actually gonna do it at my school, but then there was like a professional theater that was gonna do it, and they like take precedence, and also they like if a professional theater company does something, like no one around them can do it.
Yeah.
That's why we were gonna do Hair, but then the Broadway production was gonna be traveling to Minnesota, so we couldn't do it. And we were gonna do Hairspray, but then Janice Dinner Theater was gonna do it, so we couldn't do it. And that's when they did Rocky Horror Show, and they didn't get it, and I'm still pissed. But the point of this is,
Baby has a musical.
The point of this is that as much as I love Hairspray, it is a movie that deals with civil rights and like racism.
That's what it's about.
Yes. And like at its core, yes. And that makes me that, and also just like I guess like loving your body a little bit, or just like, you know, not be it's just not being judgmental in general, kind of. Like, but that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it. Maybe? Is the civil rights movement. And I'm like, how would you do that at a school when like there are certain characters that actually like it would not make sense to the plot if they weren't a certain race. Yeah. You know what I mean? That just feels weird for a school.
This is neither here nor there.
Something that's easy for them to maneuver, I'm guessing.
This is neither here nor there, but it's kind of interesting you say that. I went to go see a production of Avenue Q. Actually, the one I mentioned where the original Broadway Kate was in the cast. Mm-hmm. But the one who played Christmas Eve, who's the Asian character, it was played by a Black woman. And that felt a little weird. If you don't know, she's a stereotypically Asian one, so it was kind of weird. I'm like,
oh wow, okay,
with accents and everything. And there's like a whole thing about like,
I guess they could be making a commentary on yellow-faced.
They could, but I didn't want to bring up.
No, but it was something that I wondered about, because I was like, you know, there's literally lyrics and songs about Penny and Seaweed saying that if people try to stop them, they're going to call the NAACP. Like, obviously, one of them has to be and I have no problem. I love Hairspray, but I just wasn't sure how like my school would have done it.
I think that might be one thing that like schools just avoid, just in
not during DTL. God damn it, Pleiades. Mr. Chalker. But yeah, Pleiades, you should start.
I'm sure they would have figured it out, but. And it's not like we didn't have people to do like each of the parts. It just like seemed kind of weird to like, I don't know.
It's just I think a school probably would be like, fuck this. We don't even want to risk the parents saying shit because it's going to be obnoxious having to deal with it. At least that's kind of how I think it would go.
I think I already showed.
It's not even so much that like it's like that there are certain characters where like for Penny, for example, if the character of Penny wasn't white, like a lot of the plot with her thing, it just wouldn't make sense. And that's why I'm like, so that would be like excluding a lot of people from being able to audition for it. You know what I mean? That's more what I'm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
No, my school didn't care about what the parents said about the vehicles. We did Rocky Horror Show, like.
Oh well, then what the fuck? Okay, no, then you're good then.
Oh my god, how'd you do Rocky Horror?
There is a school version.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a school version.
Yeah, but
like touch it.
Yeah. Yes, touch me is in it.
Wait, did you do Once in a While? Once in a While is Brad's song that gets cut out of every version.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh God, Molly.
But it's just been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a while since
It's been a
I've
while.
been back, but I'm gonna go and
Butt
share
rock,
my
huh, Manuel?
screen.
About that butt rock?
Gonna share with
You're a hot dog, but you
What?
better not try to hurt her.
Makes sense to me.
Frankfurter.
I will say though, at
Frankfurter?
least Hairspray isn't like South Pacific, which is not saying racism is bad. It is just racist.
Oh, South Pacific, yeah.
See, there is a difference. There is a difference between those things. Like sometimes it's like mentioning a thing that is bad, and then other times it's like, no, we're just showing things, and we know that they be bad, and we're just like doing it as bad.
Mhm.
Well, South Pacific is also really old. So
Yeah, it's very,
not
very
that-
old.
Not that it excuses it, but you know.
I know my
It's
mom said she saw it once and she did not like it. For
So, yeah.
many
That would make
reasons.
sense.
It's also just, I mean, it's one of the old musical like old musical theater is very different. It's
Oh my
much
God.
less
I mean, yeah.
similar to like pop music today. I feel like nowadays it's much more similar to kind of like what you would hear on the radio. But back then it was like,
If you remember,
Probably like more
apparently
classical, I'm guessing.
this thing, the Snake Eyes was apparently one of its first appearances in media was during Guys and Dolls the musical.
huh,
They did Snake Eyes. So yeah.
that's called
Snake
Snake
Eyes.
Eyes.
Well, that's what they called it. It's the evil
I thought
eye.
it was. I thought, well, first of all, the way you're doing it is a llama. You have to put
What?
your-
That do make
no,
sense.
you have to. Oh, never mind. No, you're not. You're doing it correctly.
I can't tell what my
I always
camera's actually
thought
doing.
that was
Yeah.
just like devil horns.
I mean, it could. This is the Texas version. The what do you call this? The Longhorns version, but too sweet.
No, that's the llama.
Giga Maggies.
The happy llama. Happy
The
llama,
happy-
sad llama.
Oh man. Okay, so Pleiades. Oh wait, I need to start a timer for Pleiades. If you hold on, a
Oh,
stop.
while you're doing that, I should actually like pour myself a drink because this might actually go in a little bit.
Are we talking about sulfur-rich hot springs?
So we're
We'll start
not,
now.
but it's actually interesting that this actually has a little bit of a couple callbacks to both of the other presentations we had. But-
Oh,
Also, just this last thing about musicals, Hairspray and Crybaby are both John Waters movies, and they also have a normal like live action version and a musical version.
Well, yeah, John Waters didn't direct musicals.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's associated with either of the musical versions. I mean, I'm sure he signed off on them, but yeah,
So
we
all
gotta
right,
see Pink Flamingos the musical. Anyways, I'll start it right now. 3, 2.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So just frame reference. What does anybody know about Yellowstone National Park?
Oh my God, Yellowstone!
that one lady was like trying to get close to a buffalo, and the buffalo like almost destroyed her.
We talked about this.
Do
earlier,
we
yeah.
not remember my presentation where I talked about the difference between buffalo and bison? There are no buffalo in the United States.
Oh,
that
okay,
are not
bison,
in
I'm
zoos.
sorry.
You're right. They changed the name when they imported it from Japan. That's how they did that.
No, that's not what happened. we drove the American buffalo extinct.
Oh really?
Mhm. But
Oh, yeah.
bison are very dangerous. Don't get out of your car if you see one.
Listen,
Yeah, those
they're
guys
delicious.
are fucking. They
It's the biggest national park, right?
So it might be, but the bigger thing that I wound up looking
Rip.
into it was there's an interesting story that goes around here, and it's kind of like a long play, but this is how I want to start things up. So the park was established in 1872, and back then it was like there was no concern for the wildlife whatsoever.
Sorry,
Fuck
my
it,
nose.
you can whatever. If you have bad stuff, if there's like animals, predators, whatever, fucking kill them. Nobody's concerned with shit because there's untamed land, so nobody really thinks to do anything about
That's
it.
where all
Was-
the wolves went bye-bye.
Oh, Dick Wolf.
So it wasn't until it wasn't until like 1907, actually 1907, 1916, the freaking the people living there, like around the area in the livestock industry, actually like pushed to get legislation to have like more ability to like do animal control, so like shoot down wolves, coyotes, stuff like that, because like eating all the shit, whatever, right? So after a while, the wolves are just fucking gone. They just like fucking like nuke them. And then the elk population starts to go up as a result.
Minnesota is one of the only states that still has wild wolves. Fun fact. There's like 3 in Minnesota.
Wait, I didn't know that wolves were that endangered.
I don't
hold
think
on.
they're endangered anymore, but they were.
Oh, hold on,
shit.
hold on. There's layers. There's layers to the story. So as a result, I just find a little bit of some nice little scenery right there, and look at the wildlife and whatnot. Elk, big fuckers. They're like the Chad Giga deer. And then like once the wolves are gone, they didn't have like any natural predators. So the elks were pretty much cool to just do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Oh my god, that elk had a wolf on his butt.
And then what happened? Elk fucking everywhere. Elk eating up the grass, going into everywhere because they're wilding out because there's no wolves to be afraid of. They're just going into like territory where it's like normally they're not there because there's fucking wolves and they're just eating shit.
Okay.
They're
drink.
Uh-huh.
And also, I don't know if Molly brought this up in her presentation also, but what's the difference between elks and reindeer? That looks like a reindeer.
They're just different species.
I
will look up the difference.
Reindeer wish they were fucking elk.
As I can tell you this for a fact, deer are different than elk. I can tell you that because it comes up later in this presentation.
Okay.
But essentially, this effectively winds up happening. It's like, hey, these wolves are fucking our shit up. We're pissed. Get rid of them. Okay.
Looks like fucking rip shit up.
Here's the thing. Nobody can. And this is the thing. It's like when it's a wolf, you see a wolf, you know what it does, all that. But the thing is, you remove an wolf from the equation, and now you're thinking, so what do elk do when there's no wolf? It's like, oh, they just eat grass, whatever. Yeah, they ate the shit out of grass and wound up making it so a lot of like the fauna and like and animals and everything that are there are like they had to move out of their ecosystem. And it gets to the point where the shrubbery and everything actually destabilize the actual soil. And you wind up fucking up the actual vegetation. And it changes the landscape of the entire place. Within like decades, scientists were like, yo, the park is in a bad shape right now. Things are falling apart. What do we do? And for the longest time, they were trying to like, oh, we do a hunting season. Okay, that's cool. Like, shoot down elk, and then that'll like help control the population, so there's not as much of a destabilization in the biosphere.
Wow. Hey, that was the one time I went.
He goes hunting.
They were
I
hunting.
Did go
elk.
hunting.
He did.
Didn't help. They're like, oh wait, what if we like capture them and release them other places? It didn't work. Why? Because the elk know that as soon as people go away, they can just go back in there. There's no constant threat of wolves putting pressure to be like, okay, we got to stay out of their territory. So it wasn't until goddamn 1995 when after
is that
like
Bill Clinton?
Yeah. Wait, real quick, can I just say something real quick that I just learned about reindeer and so reindeer are they have like velvety horns or velvety antlers, and both the females and males have antlers, whereas for elk it's only the males. But apparently elk are herbivores, but reindeer apparently eat small mammals, and I am shocked.
They see a stray rabbit like
I mean, I only know deer. I'll say fuck deer, like fuck them, like God, they're overgrown rats as far as I'm concerned. Fuck deer.
Oh, you obviously haven't been to Nara, the deer there are great.
I
scary, though.
I have to slow down to 5 miles an hour because there are hordes of fucking deer where I live, and I've run into them like 4 times at least.
You've hit deer?
Fuck them. Yes. You ever been hit? You ever hit a hit of deer? It does more damage to you than it does to itself.
Oh my god! Sorry,
I swear to God, they hide out and have some sort of support group for like camping out, so that they can jump in front of my fucking car. I swear to God.
You have to drink also. Sorry, I'm keeping track of this badly.
Anyway.
I'm just laughing about him playing. He's like, he sees a deer and he swerves towards it. Anyway.
Fuck deer! I'm sorry.
Okay.
I really hate deer.
I mean, they are overpopulated, but we can calm.
No. Like I'm saying, like there's deer shit on my front doorstep. I'm not
like
even
right now.
Exactly. Yes.
Sorry, keep going. I can't stop laughing.
Anyway, so it wasn't until 1995 where people were finally like, you know what? We've been talking about this for a long time. It's like, oh, hey, hunting, capturing, releasing, all that doesn't work. What if we just put back the wolves? What if, and for the longest time they were like, oh, no. Why would we? No, do you understand how hard we work to yeet them the fuck out of this park? We're not throwing away all that effort? But then finally, shit gets so bad, and again, the whole like wolf like extermination shit, 1920. So this didn't come up until like 70 years later, where it's like finally like okay, we're sick of this. Just put the wolves in. Just done.
Bring the wolves back.
And then what happened? So they went, and because again, this was under Bill Clinton's administration. Actually, it's funny. Wait, never mind. This is a different thing. But they go and they capture 14 wolves, and they go and release them back into Yellowstone.
That's a husky.
It is.
Apparently, wolves actually are way more common now. They're in a lot more states than they used to be.
That's a husky.
That is a husky.
But I wanted to like draw a point here. So once they put these 14 wolves, just 14 wolves. What? So what this did is there was already a coyote population in there.
Wait, which one of these is a coyote?
Coyotes. Yeah, in the upper left right here. That's a coyote.
Oh.
So the thing about coyotes is they will hunt deer, but elk are too much of like giga chads for them. They cannot take down elks. So the deer population was under control. The elks were like free to just slang dick everywhere. So what wound up happening is during the time the wolves are gone.
I know.
The coyotes.
I said meese.
The coyote population exploded. And that fucked up the fact that they were like, what do they eat? Bunnies. They eat small birds who wind up like having to do a lot with like fertilizing the ground and like spreading seeds and whatnot, which is part of why the vegetation was so fucked, because these things aren't allowed to live where they were, and the entire landscape gets like changed. Freaking coyotes also like they're fast, they're nimble, but they're gonna get fucked up by a wolf. So they were out and about. The wolves, once they were back in, here's the thing about wolves: they're too thick to be to chase a coyote uphill. So what happened was the coyotes, once the wolves were reintroduced, were like, okay, cool, we're gonna go back up into the hills because otherwise we're gonna die.
Wait, the wolves are too thick?
Yes, they're too heavy.
They're too chunky.
They can't go up like inclines fast enough to chase that coyote because coyotes are way more nimble.
They're like that's my coyote impression. But
so that one, so everybody went
what am I doing?
But this is what I mean, right? And so innately, a coyote is like, no, don't go back down there. The wolves are back. Fuck that. And so all the pressure, all like all the predation, all that goes back to where it's supposed to go. The overgrazed parts start like coming back to life because the wolves have fucked up the coyotes who eat the smaller animals, because the wolves only actually eat the elks, who are like the giga chads, and unchecked they will fuck everything up. The roots come back from the trees, stabilize like the ground and soil and everything.
Shit.
Then also, I'm sorry, I just gotta take a second. Wait, hold on.
Drink, by the way. I keep forgetting. Sorry. I know there's some wily coyotes. I saw that
nice
too.
One.
I think you laughed.
Nice one.
Wily coyotes.
They found a hole in the ground. They found a hole in the ground, and then like to get rid of the wolves, they painted over it, and then when the wolf ran, they fell into the hole.
So in that, the trees came back, the roots stabilized the ground, and in a lot of parts, it actually like solidified the river paths and changed the landscape of the fucking park. 14 wolves wound up changing, like terraforming the entire park. Who the fuck would have ever imagined like 14 wolves would just have that much of an impact, and also could have fucked up everything so bad during this span of time? And
also, apparently, all Shih Tzus are descendant from 7 Shih Tzus because they killed them all off.
So, Jesus Christ! The Great Shih Tzu Purge or whatever the fuck.
I know there was
back
like
in ancient China. I
was about to say like somewhere in China,
and there were only 7 left. So all Shih Tzus are descendants from those 7.
And,
oh my God.
And the thing is, like, it just really like speaks to this weird thing that I've been noticing, and a lot of other things. In that you change one thing and it gets you the butterfly effect. But like the butterfly effect is stupid because it's like, oh, butterfly flaps its wings and it changes and makes a hurricane. No, it's not how it works. It's a bunch of stupid little things that happen because us as stupid humans, we don't realize everything is connected and affects each other. So what I want to call this, or at least this is the best title I could give it, is this is Cascade, or How I Learned to Love Complex Adaptive
Every time we
Systems.
touch and dun, 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 dun. How's the song go? But
Every time I touch, we get the
feeling
something.
When you change
Something about I can feel like fly. Go ahead.
when you change one small thing in like a whole fucking ecosystem, and again, because you think 1 + 1 = 2, so life should be linear. That's not how it works. Everything has a catastrophic like fucking effect later on down the line. And what is the other best example I could think of this? This man right here. This
Who's
man's
that?
name.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh, hold on. This man.
Okay.
Is
No, take your time.
You're good. This man. Fuck. What's his name again? God damn it. Okay, wait. Hold on.
It's Yogi Bear.
We're over here.
No.
We're over here.
Hold on. I switched up the order of the slides, and I was looking at my my paper. I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay.
I'm supposed to put this man right here. This man's name is
Uh-huh.
Louis Ranieri, and in the 1970s, he pioneered the entire concept of mortgage-backed securities.
What does this have to do with wolves?
Complex adaptive systems.
That was
What
his
happens
intro.
when you like make a bunch of little changes and
I
then the
hate when
sum
you
of the
do
parts?
this.
No. Listen,
This
you
will
think
get
it's
more
crazy now?
sense.
This will get crazier. This is light. This is light work right now. Wait. So this man right here, completely revolutionized. Like, hey, banks want to make money. Bonds are fucking boring because what is a bond? It's essentially just like when you give. It's like, hey, it's like if you put money in a savings account, but then but you do it to a company or a country, and then they're like, cool. So we're gonna hold this money for like 10 years, 30 years, whatever. And then also we're gonna give you coupon. So it's like, thank you for letting us use your money to like grow. We're gonna give you like monthly payments until whatever, every like set amount of like days, months, whatever. And then at the end of the term, we'll give you your money back. And in the meantime, it's just like we need money to like expand. That was fucking boring. It's slow. It's safe. It's stable, but it doesn't like buy you Coke and strippers is the thing, right?
Drink.
So
Coke and strippers. That's life. Oh,
so that's what this guy did. Basically, he figured out a way to make it so like, oh, hey, we want to make more money. How do we make more money? So here's the thing about bonds and everything is like, hey, so mortgage-backed securities. Mortgages are safe as fuck in the 1970s. Everybody pays their mortgage, so it's not a concern. The cheaper, the more like, oh, Mr. Otaku. This is apt, but for other reasons that will come up, because this is another point.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I've been fighting that sneeze for like so long.
Yeah, I've never heard Manuel sneeze
So when
before.
he made this, so when dude made this, and everybody's paying their mortgage, everything was safe. So it made sense to be like, hey, we can cut up like low. It's like the chicken nuggets, right? Chicken nuggets from McDonald's. They take the shittiest parts of all the chicken and blend it up, so everything is like a puree. So you like all the worst parts are in with like decent parts, and it's like, oh well, the sum of these parts is okay. So we just wind up eating it because it's all right. It's good. It's whatever the fuck. Honestly, I think it's just delicious. Personally, I don't care that it's like a puree.
I love Nuggies.
Yep.
But theoretically, the whole idea is like the shitty parts, even if they like drop out of this, like the bits that are like the riskier mortgages that like give you a higher return for doing the bonds, because this is ultimately what it is. The more risky a bond is, if like you give it to like if it's like a third world country with bonds, the yield is going to be like what you get as like a monthly payment for letting them hold your money. It's going to be way higher than like an established country like United States, UK, China, etc. Right? So it's like, how do we make money with all this? Cool. We mix the high risk with the low risk, and then that's like it's actually stable. It's safe because it balances out. All right, cool. That happens, and it goes on for a little bit, and it works because again, it's safe. And that's ultimately what the big boys, the big hedge funds, all that shit care about. Is just like, we want to be able to know that we're making money consistently. All right. Cut to the 90s.
Bill Clinton again.
Yes, that's I was going to get another picture, but honestly, this actually works out really well too. But during Bill Clinton's time, and this has nothing to do with like an anti-Clinton thing or anything. I just want to put that in there. If that's what you're taking away from this, no, it's not, because the entirety of humanity's stupidity is way bigger than one man or one party or one generation. Under Clinton, there was a lot of like trouble with housing. People couldn't get loans for houses. People weren't able to like, get loans and whatnot. So under Clinton, started up basically a housing and urban development secretary, Andrew Cuomo, hilarious stand up, set up like this reinvestment act so that banks would be able to give more loans to people who are in broke places who like can't get fucking like loans for their like for housing and whatnot, right? So like,
oh no,
shelters.
This isn't going well. I know what this is leading to.
So the thing is, it's like this wound up making it so that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac was regulated by the government institution, and it was like they wound up making it so that at least 30% of the loan purchases had to be for affordable housing, which is, again, people who like are having trouble like getting loans because, of course, you come from like an economically disenfranchised area, and it's like, fuck, I'm just like, come on,
drink,
fuck, give me a shot. That is what this was under. And again, I don't know, well, actually, everybody here is around the same age, at least, but there's something that was like, that I think everybody can say about the 90s is like, it was good economically speaking in America. It was decent. Like, shit was good, shit was popping and everything, and everybody was comfortable. The problem wound up being, it's like, okay, sure, we have this, and why is this? So all these mortgages come out, and then what that guy did in the 70s that allowed people to like, that allowed banks to like chop up shitty mortgages with good mortgages and mix them all together, it never accounted for the fact that later on down the line, we would have legislation that opens it up to more risky mortgages. I love the fact that I can just do this at will.
What the fuck? I have to list my age with the infinity symbol.
There's not enough spaces in there, so it just has to like compromise.
God damn it.
But the thing was, honestly, at the time, it was a boon because why? There wasn't a lot of risk in the market at the time because everybody was contracted. So it's like, hey, let's kind of like loosen up the belt to let people like who don't have a shot have a shot. All right, cool. Time went on, and the thing is, a lot of people wound up getting multiple mortgages for multiple houses that they had no fucking business getting. And it was like, why would a bank do that? Because again, the government is like saying, hey, you have to have high risk. That's one thing. And the second thing is also, they are getting paid for this. You got to realize the higher risk ones are giving them more money. So they're incentivized to get as shitty mortgages as possible. Or not, I won't say shitty, high risk. Because again, everything is like on a case-by-case basis. Just because you're broke, that doesn't mean that you're not able to pay a mortgage. That's just a shout out to the banks. Like, eventually, give me a fucking mortgage. Like, once I get like applied, because homeboy gonna need a house at a certain point. But essentially, it's like, oh man, there's no reason for us not to keep churning these out and just give as many loans as possible. Because again, dude, in the beginning in the 1970s, like, hey, so long as you manage risk, high and low risk, you're good. You will continue to make like it'll be good. More strippers, more coke. Why not? Keep pounding out the high risk mortgages. We'll be good. Just mix them in with like decent stuff, and we never have to worry about it. Dude originally said, like, again, a math equation of between risk and reward, and so long as you maintain that on an equation, you're good. Eventually, the math is just, it's insane because it never accounted for these high risk mortgages. And again, with how many numbers are in there, it's impossible for any person to fucking fathom the amount of risk here. And so what happened? Eventually, the chickens come home the fucking roost.
Oh my god.
Every single piece, like Jenga tower. The bad ones balance up the good ones, and vice versa. Knock them over, and the whole thing comes crumbling down. But at the time, if shit's good, nobody's going to worry about anything. So people are going to keep feeding into this, and they're going to buy more of it and enable it more and more. Cut to 2008 when everything reaches head and all the defaults come in and all the things fucking like break down. What the fuck? Everything's fucked now because we've been like coasting on easy money since the 90s. The 90s were good, but the thing is, it's like at the time of the 90s, everything was set up so that, yeah, it's good times until the like 2008. Now we got to pay for the shit. Now we're fucked. So here's my question. Where's the wolf? Where's the wolf in all this? What's the wolf part of this equation? Because it's obvious that a lot of shit happened with a lot of unrelated things.
He's riding the goat.
One big sum. And here's the thing. No snowflake wants to realize that they're part of that they cause an avalanche is a thing. But also, no snowflake individually causes an avalanche. Everything is, in at least financial systems, is reward and risk. Higher risk, higher reward. Low risk, low reward. But what are you going to do if, like, you're an institution? You're always going to go for the higher risk. It's more money. Like, it logically speaking, the amount that you could lose is like, but like how much I could gain, that's different. And it changes with human psychology. You can, and the other thing is, at the time, these acts were not malicious. Like, it was legitimately done with.
Whoa, Molly left.
All this was done with the idea of like affordable housing. And that's the thing. You can do something for the right reasons. And then it winds up blowing up in your fucking face.
Drink.
Oh, shit. Hold up. Hey, Mom.
Oh, there she goes.
Sorry, I accidentally left out of the...
Oh, the window? I do that all the time. Whenever I leave on accident, usually because I click the... I'm closing a bunch of windows. Like, oops, that wasn't just a random window.
You can absolutely... Yeah, I don't even know how this is... But like on the left over here, that's Anne Hathaway in Les Mis, and on the right, that's J-Lo in Hustlers.
Wait, did you actually? So all these weird references to other presentations, you already write this before you knew what we were going to talk about?
No, actually, that's what's funny. Again, complex adaptive systems, like variables come into each other. But here's the thing: you can want to like, hey, I want to like make it so like people can have more ability to like get mortgages and have housing because I want people to be able to like have a roof over their head and for their kids and whatnot. And then also, though, that same act can be abused by people who are like, no, I want more coke and strippers. There's no bad side here for me just like tossing the shit out. And
coke
so
and strippers are good.
You wind up having two different, entirely differently motivated people. And then it both winds up feeding in to the same fucking cascade that just like fucks over everybody in the end, no matter what. Because again, everybody got fucked in the 2008 housing crisis. There's so many different variables that go into all the shit that we do. And it's so crazy. At a certain point, it becomes impossible to fathom what we're doing with a lot of things. And I think this is like one of the biggest like issues with like making policy or anything, doing anything really. Because you could do one thing and like have one intent and it'll have the complete opposite effect. But you won't realize it until years later, probably because like a bunch of other things happen in between that you could have never even anticipated. But hey, this isn't even isolated to this or wolves in Yellowstone. let's look at inflation real quick. Inflation happens, and again, this is Ever Given. Ever Given. One fucking ship. They got stuck sideways, wound up throwing the entire global economy into a fucking hissy fit because it had so much shit on it that everybody started thinking and panicking, like, oh man, what if all the companies and vendors and everything wind up like jacking up their prices because there's a scarcity and whatever.
It's not just that it had so much shit also. It's that also that like because it's blocking it.
Yep.
The other ones in line, bless you. The other everyone's sneezing. The other ones in line are like, oh, we can't get through either.
Exactly. And so now like all the ships behind it that didn't get stuck, now everybody's thinking like, oh, what about those products? Oh, what if they can't get this unstuck ever? Oh, damn. And then just the fear of like bad things happening winds up making people anticipatorily like just sell shit off. Like, oh, we're going to be like high inflation, all that shit. Because this actually happens in a lot of cases. Companies will raise their prices for products because they think inflation will come. Because they want to anticipate it so that they don't hurt their margins. And then when people pay it, even if inflation doesn't come, they'll keep their prices there because people will still pay for it. It doesn't, like, one thing can just set off human psychology. But let's look at the other end of that. Let's look at fucking deflation. Deflation is essentially like, and this is dithered as fuck because I couldn't find a decent resolution for this picture. But essentially it's like when things are cheaper to do. Like, hey, I don't have to pay Visa a big ass thing and like have an expensive cash register. I can just use a little plug in for like a square swipe whatever on my phone, and like I can be a merchant super easy, cost effective. We're good. And that winds up going across the board and making it way easier to make money. And so what happens? Everything gets deflated. Or if you're like using an eBay store, that's way easier than like having a fucking big old Rolodex of like shit that you have to keep track of and whatnot. This happens, and then things get added onto it. Like if you want to market to like certain people in advertising, you have AI now, and that'll help you reach more people in like a more effective way. And it just kind of like iterates on itself. But again, this has to fight against the fact that like one ship getting stuck can just fuck everything else in an exponential way.
It also has to take into account that if people had lower production costs, they would actually lower their prices, because there is no guarantee that they would do that.
Exactly. Just pocket the difference usually.
And I'm going to go ahead and go on another wild ass take here. You can actually have, and this is actually how like competitive fighting game metas work.
Okay,
this is how it works. You have a one operant thing that works, a most effective strategy that works. In the beginning of Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee, a bunch of characters were like thrown to the bottom tier. Nobody used them. Why? Just because nobody had experience with them. And then eventually it became like, theoretically speaking, who's the best character? It's Fox. Everybody wound up using Fox. And here's the thing. Now it becomes everybody is used to fighting Fox. Nobody knows what it's like fighting Jigglypuff. It's literally just because nobody is used to it. And
I have a friend who only plays Jigglypuff.
I know who you're talking about.
No, I mean, I know what you mean there. I remember used to go to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and they're like, I wasn't planning to fight Monarchs. I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass now, bro.
Exactly.
They side deck to not. They can side deck me. I was like,
but at the same time, what this is like, emergence. Exactly like this. Because it's like, first off, like Fox winds up being a top tier because bunch of tools. Chad. But also because everybody winds up using him. If there's any character that has any sort of like little nuances that nobody knows how to use because they're so used to like Fox versus Fox or Fox versus Falco, Fox for that, they won't know how to act and they'll get fucking blown up immediately. And it winds up being just this ecosystem of like human behavior is the fucking obstacle to beat. And it's like things just happen as a natural result of like, it's almost like water. Like water always flows downstream. The operant effective strategy always goes down, but there's no way to know what that strategy is at the time and point. Like, you can't plan that shit out 10 years in advance because it's an infinite amount of variables. Like, there's no fucking way. Nobody knew that, like, after, like, Fox is like, oh, the theoretical, like, perfect pick in Melee, that later on, Hungrybox is going to come in and knock everybody's fucking souls out. Why? Because nobody likes playing Jigglypuff, which means that nobody has practice against Jigglypuff, which means that people, when Hungrybox won, people actually started paying the secondary best Jigglypuff for private matches just to figure out how to fucking fight her.
Yo.
Wait, did you call Jigglypuff a her?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone do that before.
Jigglypuff's a queen. What you talking about?
What?
Well, technically, it could be either, but yeah.
But and this is what I want to like say is like, this is for me the omega example of a cascade. This goes beyond taking some wolves and moving around. This goes beyond selling some shifty ass like pureed chicken McNugget securities. What is the omega cascade? Like the thing that is like, there's no anticipating how this will play out years after it happens.
What?
It's a singularity. It is a singularity, and it's the shit that like is approach. It will happen eventually. Who the fuck knows when it'll happen? But at the point where, because again, we use tools. Tools are like help us optimize what we're doing on a daily basis, because it's more productive. So what happens once we like figure out a tool that is so fucking optimal that like it's not just us competing against each other. It's not just like Fox versus Jigglypuff. We will have AI, our own personal AI, fighting against each other. And now it's AI versus AI.
What are you talking? Anyways, I'm just gonna let you keep going. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean, here's the thing. You can say, I mean, it's indistinguishable from like, it's just a tool. You have an optimal tool versus an optimal tool, and what happens in that point. If a person has a better tool than me, I'm going to figure out how to make a better tool than that. And then they're probably going to wind up trying to make a better tool than me. And it just like winds up being like this cascading effect going upwards. There are points where we don't know what the fuck is going to happen years later. And that is a wild concept to me. But at the same time, there was a point in history where people couldn't fathom the idea of recorded events. Like the fucking printing press at the time was like a huge thing. Ford's industrial, what's it called? The fucking line, whatever. I don't know. Motherfucker made cars, figured out a way to make it optimal, make cars, and then that was a big thing. Even though he didn't actually like create it, but the point is, it's like, oh shit, now everybody like knows it, copies it, and now like it's a new meta. There's a thing called Rocco's Basilisk, which is this concept of like eventually, and I am fucking everybody up possibly at this point. This idea is a thought experiment of like, what if one day there is an AI that is so advanced that it would kill anybody who didn't initially help it come into existence? And that is a wild concept, because it's like, you know what you're doing is being productive. What if the thing that you're making is like years later down the line, and it's like, I didn't know that removing the wolves because they were fucking up the neighborhood, that later on down the line that would like destroy rivers and everything. I was just trying to make it so I could have livestock and like not fear for my children getting like eaten by fucking wolves. Jesus Christ. And then like years later, my great granddaughters have to,
oh shit, drink,
had to be fucked up because I fucked up, because I had no idea of the ramifications of my actions at the time. And for me, what this winds up just boiling down to, because this is a wild experiment. This entire thing by itself that is hilarious, where like somebody like banned somebody else for even presenting this. Is like, this is the stupidest thing you've ever done. This is dangerous as fuck. Why would you say this? Blah, blah, blah. Theoretically speaking, it's also like, yo, why would you ban somebody if you're not afraid of it? And so what I ultimately personally take from this entire journey winds up just coming down to, I don't know shit about shit. At the beginning of The Big Short, there is a quote. The Big Short being the movie that chronicles the 08 housing market crash and all that, where it comes down to it's not the things that I'm paraphrasing, the things that you know that fuck you up. It's the things that you know for a fact aren't true that wind up fucking you up. Which is to say, if you're so consistently like in line with like, oh no, this is the truth. If I do this one thing, everything else is going to work out. That's when you get fucked up, because you won't even consider the fact that like maybe you're wrong. Maybe there's an alternative. Maybe if I remove these wolves, it's going to wind up fucking up the vegetation because the coyotes are going to go wild. The elks are just going to be like playing in dick everywhere, eating up all the grass. And so it's like this thing where it's like there's no underestimating human stupidity, in the sense that like we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. There's so much fucking variables that no one person can ever keep track of any of this. And the fact that I'm able to like even like draw any of these information points in this one like stream, that means somebody else listens to this, which means now they know about complex adaptive systems, which means now they can consider the fact like, oh shit, maybe that could happen, and now they will change their behavior. In the same way of like, oh shit, vote, fear, sell everything, FUD. Just like producing ideas, it like creates this unending fucking cascade of things that we can never anticipate. I don't know, it's cool and terrifying at the same time, but also people probably felt that way when cars were invented. And they're like, these fucking cars are like putting our horses out of business and all that shit. And we don't even understand how we're supposed to like continue on living. No one knows what the fuck the future brings. Maybe just always have like a little grain of doubt. I mean, that's for me. That's like maybe like yes, this works right now, but maybe it won't work later. So maybe when I approach things, grain of salt. And that's
that was an all over the place presentation, Pleiades.
Oh no, that's all it's the same. That's all. There's a through line to all that. I actually left some stuff out too.
What was it about? Was it about Yogi Bear? Hey, boo boo, it's a picketing basket.
Hey, boo boo.
I think
baskets.
You weren't on Molly yet, but I was telling everyone earlier that when I was younger, and actually not even when I was younger, I was like a teenager when I learned this.
A young boy.
I used to think Jellystone National Park was a real park. And it's funny because it never dawned on me that Jellystone would be a fake name. It sounds like it could be real. And the only reason I found out was because I think it was Memory Show. I'm not sure anymore. But there was a sitcom that made fun of it too. It's like Jellystone National Park is where Yogi's from. It's not a real park. And I was like, wait, what?
I just have to like highlight this comment right now, Mr. Talker. What you're saying makes perfect sense in a rational mind. And at the same time, if people anticipate people being stupid, it can actually cause an effect where it's like, well, if I think people are going to be stupid, then the inverse of that is maybe people will be smart because they think people will be stupid because they're not thinking about it. So now maybe it's that. The only other way I can explain this is like playing rock, paper, scissors. And it's like, hey, if I throw rock, then maybe they'll throw paper.
Good old rock.
But if that's so, then if I want to throw rock, then I should throw scissors. Oh, but if I know that, then maybe they'll throw rock then, so I should throw paper. It's an insane fucking like maze of human thought that is like, oh shit, this is how human like irrationality goes on. It is a weird thing that happens.
I owe Weston 2 shots. I'm gonna take first one. This is to Jellystone National Park.
Listen, deadass, the Jellystone cartoon on HBO Max is weirdly funny. Like I didn't expect anything from it, and I just like, oh wait, I'll watch this. It's actually really good.
The best
It's
Hanna-Barbera
weirdly
cartoon
good.
is Two Stupid Dogs.
That's a good cartoon too.
Two stupid dogs. Two
Two
stupid
stupid
dogs.
Well, ain't that cute?
I love Two Stupid Dogs.
But it's wrong.
Oh man. The second shot is to Hairspray.
DTL
I don't
dying.
know. DTL dying. Oh, rip DTL. We only have 6 more.
So
If it's on April 1st, like that weekend, then I won't be able to do it.
Well, there'll be a few weeks where we have like, well, actually, there'll definitely be some weeks we have gas, so it might work out.
Work out.
Yeah. Scoopy and Scrappy. Scooby.
Fuck.
Scooby and
Fuck
Scrappy.
Scrappy Doo.
Uh,
Actually, no. Honestly, I didn't even like have that big of a problem with Scrappy Doo. I think like maybe if I was older, I probably would have had a problem with them. I only said that for the meme.
I was about to say, like, I honestly think most people who don't like Scrappy, it's just a meme in the internet. Because when I was a kid, I never minded Scrappy really. Like,
This is gonna be funny. I honestly never thought Scooby Doo was really that good. So for me,
Scooby-Doo.
I always thought it was mediocre at best, honestly. And that's why like when Scrappy Doo is in there, and I'm just like, yeah, this is the same level of like shittiness I expected from before. And the only reason I'm on here is because there's no episode of King of the Hill playing right now. Or
Yeah, I don't think I've.
So
I can't remember what's that show with Red Herring, the Scooby Doo one. The
Oh
one with
no,
the kids?
Pup Named Scooby Doo. That's
Yeah.
slaps.
That's the
Pup
only
Named
one I ever
Scooby-Doo
liked.
Is objectively the best Scooby Doo series.
That's the only one I actually.
Okay,
liked.
wait. I haven't watched Mystery Incorporated, so that might be better. I'm not sure. I've heard such things, but at least like for back in the day when I was a kid. Oh no, Pup Named Scooby Doo, way better than fucking all the other Scooby Doo series. Period.
That was a good show, and of course I like the movies. Obviously, like I saw what's her face.
Wait, which
Leslie
movies?
post the
Because there's a
Witch's
lot.
Ghost. Well, there's a bunch, but there's Witch's Ghost and Zombie Island. Obviously, were my 2 favorites. But Witch's Ghost is like.
Okay, hold on. Zombie Island is 10 out of 10. Period. Witch's
Ghost is Hex Girls, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. The Witch's Ghost is responsible for like 90% of goth girl infatuations to this day. I swear to fucking God.
Well, I saw Leslie.
God
I was about to say,
bless.
like Leslie posted about like she's like, oh, something Hex Girls. Like I don't know. Did you guys watch that movie recently, Warren? But she posted about
No,
Hex
she
Girls.
just needed it. She just wanted to take a photo with it because I think she had to for Hot Topic.
Oh, she's right there. Yeah, Ghoul School.
Wait.
It's funny because I talked about this with
School is good too. Yeah.
we had a DTL with Melancholia and what's her face Nyaru like a while back, and they got on my case. I actually don't like Ghoul School that much.
It's definitely like older style, but
yeah,
and it's like a weird fucking plot. It's just like there's a race. Wait, what? Like, huh? And other shit. Wait, no, that was a different one. But still. It's just like a weird setup. It's like this is like a really forced setup, but also I'm like, I don't know. This is kind of heartwarming though, because it's like there's like all these monsters have like kids, and I'm just like, heartwarming.
But yeah.
Also, that vampire girl though, that was like that was like insta crush for me when I was a kid. Yeah, hell yeah.
Have you
Her
seen
and the ghost girl? Yeah, instantly.
Oh yeah, I guess let's talk about the girl ones. You mean
Wait, hold up.
we did a podcast at UPC. Exactly.
Wait, hold up. Leslie got some fucking Hot Topic shit going on? Oh shit.
Well, she does a lot of stuff with Hot Topic, doesn't she? I've seen her like I'm not sure like how official like the collabs are. I mean they're official. But I don't know how like if she's like a regular, she just does it sometimes. But I have seen her do a lot of Hot Topic things.
I'd have to ask. You should ask her. Because she does a lot of Hot Topic stuff, like for sure. Like, I
mainly, I just don't want to promo
like,
Hot Topic if they're not really like
Oh no, I was just gonna say
like
the only platform that I'm on consistently is like Twitter because I'm like full blown Twitter rat. So like anytime I see Nyaru, like I always like retweet that shit. And I was like, oh shit, wait, is Leslie doing shit? If she has a Twitter, I need to fucking blow this shit up.
Yeah, if you go to her like I think she posts on her Insta and it's also on her Facebook, but she has like she has a picture with like, I guess it's a Hot Topic shirt with the fucking Hex Girls.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
The Hex really nice Girls shirt. And I know that's what I was thinking too. Like that's a cool shirt.
That's cute.
Wait, what is that?
That's the Nyaru shirt.
Where'd you get that?
I bought it. She had I followed her on Twitter, so I was like, and she like made a tweet about it. And I was like, oh, I'm definitely buying this to support the homie.
That's so weird. I never. It's funny because I don't know if he ever did it. You should ask him, Warren. Your uncle, was that his name? The one who used to like watch us way back in the day all the time. Uncle. Right?
Oh shit, that's right, you do. Oh shit, fuck. Wait, Leslie, make a tweet or some shit.
He was talking about buying her body pillow, like the naked one.
Oh yeah,
I think he did. So yeah, she did it.
That's being a real homie.
Yeah, she made a naked Dakimakura. Oh wait,
Dakimakura, yeah.
There you go. I just don't know. I just don't know that word. Like, but yeah, she made one of those. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna buy it to support, but I think when I finally was going to, it sold out. There were like multiple drops, but I just stopped caring. Like I stopped waiting for them. So yeah. But he bought
unless you're like keeping track of like
time
sensitive drops. It's kind of like
Let's see. I wish it could be cool like the Hex Girls with childhood goals. Molly should be a Hex Girl. You guys should all be Hex Girls. I don't know.
This is unironically. I actually like. I think this is like a really cool comment, and the reason is like. This is actually a really common like sentiment that I hear very often, and I think it's like, because like when a lot of us were young, like it wasn't like social media and shit, where it's like a lot of like wild shit is just like, oh yeah, it's cool, it's different. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, do it. Back in the day, it'd be like you'd be like looked at fucking weird for doing stuff like that.
They came back in a new movie. Did you know this?
Yes, it was mediocre, as far as I know.
Their new designs look weird.
This
like
is what
the blonde one,
yeah.
The blonde one's like wearing like no clothes. She has like a bunch of belts. She's like Riku status.
Oh wait, no. She's a Final Fantasy character?
Yeah, she has a bunch of belts. She has a bunch of belts.
Belt and zipper.
Girls, when I came across a new like they're in and like the other girl looks kind of like schoolgirly, the main girl with the black hair, and they kind of drew her very top heavy. I don't want to like.
We've been talking about titties the entire time, and now you're going to be shy.
I'm gonna go on a limb and assume she's on.
Goddamn thing. Hold up.
And I'm pretty sure if I just Googled like Hex Girls Rule 34, I'll come across a hell of a lot of that.
That's not what I was looking. That's not even what I was about to Google. I was gonna just go and look up like official art. That's for the
oh man, that came up. I don't want to look that up. I regret adding.
Yes, you do. Don't fucking lie. Don't fucking lie.
Oh, they were the Hex
Girls were in Yo, what?
Yeah. You look at them. You see what I mean? The main girl has like pretty big boobs. The other girl, I think, is black now.
And they all have big boobs. What are you talking about?
And then the blonde girl is like Final Fantasy with all the belts.
Oh, she does.
You're going like full Lulu mode. Okay. Wait, hold on. Also, I love the fact that like the creators obviously know that the Hex Girls are like a fan favorite.
Yeah. I actually used to have that soundtrack to that movie. Well, it wasn't my the same ex-girlfriend who liked American 88 also liked that musical that movie.
We don't care. I don't know the rest of those lyrics.
But wasn't Tim Curry in that one?
No.
Was
not that one. No.
Was it Jonathan Frakes then? I think there was somebody like. Let me look at this up. Which is Ghost?
Because the thing is, like, the number one Scooby-Doo movie song that I remember is always like the Terror Time. That shit still slaps. I will still fucking put that on loop for like an hour.
He wasn't this. Tim Curry was Ben Ravencroft.
Oh shit, he was. You're right.
Oh, I didn't say this earlier, but the chick who played this is really random for me to bring this up, but I was thinking about Molly saying she was Ariel. The chick who was Ariel in the original Broadway version of Little Mermaid, she's also what the fuck is her name? The girl from Phantom of the Opera. She's the girl from Phantom of the Opera in
Christine?
The version
Family of the Opera.
In the version you probably have seen because they only really filmed it once, and it was at the Royal Albert Hall, and she was the Christine for that performance. So if you watch it, it's Ariel playing Christine. And she was also a guest at SAC Anime a few years back, and I tried to interview her, but it didn't work out with the schedule. And it was funny because I just wanted to interview and talk about Little Mermaid.
Well, Manuel, she's like, hell no. Nah.
Manuel came on too strong.
Well, I mean, like
Too strong.
we went to official channels and we emailed, so she couldn't tell that I was gonna
okay.
be like fanboying. But yeah,
You're right, because there's never been creepy things that come through official channels at all.
like, can I touch your hair? I'm just kidding. I didn't ask that, but
Just please tell me you didn't like offer to buy anything.
no. It was. Oh man. I don't know what you're saying, but anyways, I need some Nyaru merch. I feel bad because I've never bought any, and I've always.
I love the fact that
intended
like
to.
I have had less interactions with Nyaru than you have, and yet
I bought most people's merch.
sure.
Nyaru,
actually-
if you happen to ever actually see this, fucking send me out a retweet and shit on Manuel, please.
I have one of the Peachy Parade shirts somewhere else, and this is
No one can see that.
It's the
What
Ren birthday.
promotion is that?
It's the Ren birthday checky, and I bought it from her birthday event. And I have other goods from everyone else. I just don't know where they all are.
Sure you do.
But yeah, Molly, get some goods, and I'll buy them.
Goods. Oh, okay.
Get some goods.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
I mean, one of my headshots was on eBay for a while.
oh yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't me. I'm not the one
I'm-
that posted it. I don't know. Who did. It's not there anymore.
Someone
Molly got
bought
the
it and they're just
NFT
like,
job.
yes.
Damn. Okay.
It's not an NFT.
No, like the fucking scraping other people's shit and then selling it.
Oh,
You get the NFT treatment. I keep forgetting Molly Ringwald is a person because whenever I type in Molly Ring in somewhere, it always like, "Do you mean Molly Ringwald?"
Which is
if you
hilarious.
do Molly,
because-
if you do my full name, Molly Elizabeth Ring, I for sure pop up. I think I do.
Yo,
need
it's
to
the
put that Molly Ring.
Baba!
What?
She's not doxing herself.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's-
Molly Elizabeth Ring is literally it's like my stage name.
Name.
Like it's
Yeah,
a
there
it's a
you go.
public facing
Oh, okay,
name.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
That's the name of
also,
your website.
I mean, yeah, like people can do stuff with my name, but like they could find it is very easy to find my name. Like me saying it, yeah, it's literally my name on Twitter.
Oh yeah, look at the Hex Girls.
Flashing.
See, I know why is it flashing like that? Who's doing that?
Oh wait, okay, it's fixed now.
But yeah, you see, it's like Riku. It's like Riku on the left, and she's even blonde.
No,
I
it's
didn't realize
not.
that when I said
Well,
that.
okay,
It
she's
looks like-
blonde.
It
but-
looks like Harley Quinn.
Oh, it does
Yeah,
look like
that's
Harley
a good way of
Quinn.
saying it. Yeah,
Whoever saw this is like ripping off Harley Quinn style.
I feel like that's just a common thing. I feel like, I mean, like it's an archetype because it works.
I'm not gonna lie. If you
this
Google
is
Molly
probably
Elizabeth
the-
Ring, you get a lot of pictures of Molly in the image search. And I know that sounds obvious, but I was not expecting this.
Yeah, I mean, I
usually-
have an IMDb and like I've been in movies.
Hey.
I like this picture of you with Kansas because that's clearly at that one convention we were
Yeah.
at where we interviewed it's a Japanese convention.
Oh fuck! No, damn it! Shit! Fuck!
Oh, were you showing porn?
No, I
You
saw
watched it.
other things.
Yeah,
I need you to
literally-
splice that out of this fucking bar
Oh, my
later
God.
on.
He showed titties, didn't he?
No, I'm not gonna say what it was.
Yeah, he showed titties.
Fix it later.
Vagina.
It's not,
No.
until it's not until the 23rd image that you see Molly Ringwald.
I know, and I like how.
And then
there's, like,
24 and 25 are also me. And then
my favorite
Yeah.
is like that selfie where you're like from BC Butcher. Like, you have the weirdest look on your face. I don't know if that's a selfie or not, but yeah, it's like this weird angle.
what is this
this?
picture that looks like it could be a drawing of me, but I don't know if it's a drawing of me.
It's a drawing of you. Wait, what's this picture? Are you getting make? Sorry, we were just now
Yeah.
we're just like looking
No,
up
it's
Molly on
like-
Google.
It's the one after no, go back.
What?
Oh, it's the one. It's like an anime-ish drawing. It's
Oh, you're on a lot of stock photo sites. I'm gonna pay to use these photos. Hold on. I'm gonna license these
funny,
photos.
but,
out.
like you can have
What?
like stock photo stuff, and then like not even realize it, and then later on down the line, I was like, wait, I'm a global meme now.
I know. I'm gonna make Molly into a meme. I'm gonna license
Is that
this
going to be a
photo.
good thing or a bad one, though?
I don't know.
I don't trust Manuel.
There's
I
a
don't
lot.
trust Manuel.
I like how once you get past all the people, it's like all rings.
yeah.
What Sadako?
No, like rings, like finger rings. Oh, there's Molly again, like way in the middle of all. At least for me, there's like all these rings and there's Molly again.
Hey Molly.
Huh?
Well,
Nobody
this
say
is
anything.
everyone.
Oh, damn it. How the fuck do I... Wait. God damn it. Oh, okay, there it is. That's where the frame is.
Oh, Pleiades. I can't believe we should... We should probably end this. I forgot that we should...
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. Molly, yeah, this now.
Hmm?
Can you guess the 80s song? I mean, the
Never gonna
puzzle?
give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Let you down.
I know.
Turn around and desert you.
If that was a real puzzle,
My brain
can you
is fucking
solve?
ruined
Can you
forever.
solve with no letters? I don't know if you can. I don't know the Jeopardy. Wheel of
The
Fortune.
fact
I don't
that
know
it's
the-
not even like
I
it's
didn't
not one of
even
those
see his head there.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I didn't see that. Until just now, too. I'm not gonna lie. But just the fact that it's not one of those puzzles where it's like, hey, if you know the first letter and the last letter, your brain can. No, this is completely like tabula rasa, like fucking nothing.
Anyway, we should wrap this up.
I mean,
To-
we should.
Wednesday
we
Wednesday.
failed.
Tuesday is twos. Two.
Tuesday is Tuesday.
Yeah, it's all the twos.
I
2,
swear to
22,
God, wait,
22.
are you on this bullshit? I swear to God.
I actually love repetitions of twos. In case you couldn't tell, my screen name for everything is Elevate 222. It's just my thing. It's always been my thing. Not even because of this. It's been my thing since I was a child. Like I've had an obsession with twos. I don't know why that is, but
I mean,
but
there
yeah.
is in nature a law of twos.
So I'm excited. I don't know what we're talking about. I'm actually overthinking what we're talking about too much. I probably should think of something soon because it's like in 3 days. But yeah, we'll be doing that. And then
Wait,
Wednesday.
so you have no plan whatsoever?
Well, Nyara will be there. I mean, there's ideas to fall back on if I can't think of anything cool. Like we'll talk about like fantasy shit. Like we've been doing that for a while, but we'll see. But it's like for Fantasy February, which is almost over. But yeah, I think this is our last Tuesday. So if we don't do it now, we're fucked. But Wednesday we're playing Wild Arms, and then Friday we're doing Dungeons and Dragons. There's no DTL on Saturday. There's definitely none next Saturday. But I was talking to the others that we might change up the schedule a little, maybe if it works out for some of the guests like that we'll be having. Maybe not for sure, but there's only 6 more episodes left, so we'll make it work somehow.
Of DTL.
And then DTL's gone forever. Well, mostly. Stupid flower, whatever. Take a whiskey drink, take a vodka drink. And if I have to pee, I use the kitchen sink.
Remember we were talking about, and then you didn't know what I was talking about in terms of like that one scene from that one show.
What's that? What?
Hold on.
This is the one when he goes back to the present and everyone has lizard tongues, but he's like, whatever. And he just keeps eating his breakfast.
Listen, you make compromises, man. No. It's like, oh fuck, what was it? Bill Clinton went up on screen. It was like really sweet. It's like, hey guys, launch missiles, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
This.
Look, Donnell,
what was
Willie
talking
over
about?
here.
Oh, you cooking? Oh, God.
You cooking? Oh my god. Anyway, so that's that. Thank you for watching DTL. Thank you, Molly, for coming in for the last half of it.
Thank you, Molly. This is fun.
I'm sad you missed most of the musical one. It's funny because like this is our last. Well, this should be our last week with just 3 people. So I wanted to do this presentation because I knew it was going to be a longer one.
Really?
Yeah, I knew it would be a longer one, so I wanted to do it specifically on a week where there was just 3 of us. So I knew that even if I went long, it wouldn't have mattered. So yeah. So a lot of my next ones will be a lot shorter, especially the one I planned for next week. It's gonna be like an old
next
school
week?
one. I mean, next time, 2 weeks.
Oh, I was like, what?
I like the panic in your voice when I said that. But yeah.
Next week is my birthday.
Oh, it is.
Oh, happy birthday!
Oh, it is.
Well, we're doing D&D next week.
Your birthday's not on Friday, is it?
No, it's on Saturday.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't think it's on Friday.
That means we'll take a drink to you.
I invited both of you.
Yeah, you did, and I don't know if I'll be, because
I'm not down there.
I know.
Fuck you, man. You can't. Man, you have no excuse. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate it. Man, you have no excuse.
I don't do it every Saturday, but there's.
I would have invited you to Pleiades, but you don't live in California.
You could be like Jordan. Jordan used to live in
Thank you. I
Hawaii.
appreciate the thought. That's very sweet. Thank you.
Jordan used to live in Hawaii, and he would invite us to his Christmas party every year, even though it was in Hawaii. And I'm like, I'm not going.
Listen, no. The fact that he offered those is still sweet. It's still nice.
It was just funny. I was just like, what the fuck? I can't go to Hawaii, especially like on short notice during the holidays.
Well, it's probably for the same thing. It's like, hey, like I would feel bad not mentioning anything. So, boom, there you go. You know.
But yeah, and this is Jordan who like hosts the FA podcast with me, by the way, which hasn't come back. Which probably will come back once DTL's over. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. But anyways, that's that. Yeah, Molly's birthday. Everyone's gonna have birthday to her next Saturday. Oh, but I didn't finish my thought.
Happy birthday, Molly.
So I don't do it every Saturday, but I do have another stream on Saturdays. I did it today, and I do have one next Saturday, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, I won't be all day, but we'll see.
So you ain't never told us about it.
I have told you guys. I just
no, you fucking haven't. Bullshit.
Anyway. Then how did? Oh, maybe I haven't. Weston knows all about it because Weston actually woke me up. No joke. Weston woke me up in time for it today because I accidentally fell asleep. And my last message to him was like, "Oh my god, I'm being very dangerous laying down." And he didn't know this, but I fell asleep. And then he called me, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "You need to wake up." I'm like, "Oh, you're right. Fuck. Thank you."
Nice. Good job.
Saved my ass. Yeah. Fun fact: if you ever see me on a DTL and I actually shaved, it's because I'm doing the other thing, and I can't look like crap. But anyways.
I don't think I've ever seen you like not shaved. Now I think about it.
Well, because I've been doing it a lot of the recent Saturdays. Anyways. Peace out. Love you all. Good night. Peace.
Love you. Bye. Au revoir. C'est la vie. Blah blah blah. And broadcast.